The following is a Learfield presentation of the UConn Sports Network.
The Huskies are six-time national champions, and it's time to celebrate UConn hoops at center court again. Made for March? Yes, indeed.
On the UConn Sports Network, presented by Brown, Painderis, and Scott, UConn Huskies men's basketball is on the air.
All the way to the basket, he laid it in, coast to coast.
Our coverage begins with the Hart Auto Group countdown to tip-off. Today's show is presented by Hart Auto Group. Shop Hart Auto Group. We treat you like family and are only a heartbeat away. HartCars.com. Pre-game coverage is sponsored by Key Bank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Today's show is also sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss. Brown, Painderis, and Scott. With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Cloder Farms in Ellington. Best sheds at the best prices. American-made custom furniture. We're worth the ride. Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Make your move. Connect with the top orthopedic specialists at oahct.com. And by Trantolo and Trantolo, Connecticut's personal injury law firm.
Now goes to the alley-oop boat again. That slaps it, Johnson. Rip City.
Coming up, we'll break down today's opponent, check scores from across the country, and go one-on-one with UConn head coach Dan Hurley. The countdown to tip-off begins as we head to our broadcast location. Here's Bob Joyce.
Live from the XL Center, UConn men's basketball on your radio tonight, the second half of our UConn doubleheader. It's the Huskies of Connecticut, the two-time reigning national champions, and their second oldest rival when it comes to games played, the Wildcats of New Hampshire. Of course, once upon a time, they used to be Yankee Conference rivals back in the day. It's the B team. Bob, Ben,
all right.
Joyce, Darnell with you here tonight. Ben, both teams averaging double-figure threes. We could see a lot of those tonight between these two teams.
Yeah, that's what we're expecting. New Hampshire went out, and they totally revamped their roster. And a lot of the guys they got are known for shooting beyond the arc. That's what they're going to do tonight. If they want to stay in this game, they're going to have to make a lot of threes. UConn outsizes them at almost every position. But like we say at the beginning of the year, for a lot of these teams, this is a big one for New Hampshire. I mean, in the XL Center against the number 3 team in the nation, they're going to give it their best tonight to take on UConn.
Right, and maybe we'll see Alex Caravan get 7 more blocks as he did opening night. Of course, Donovan Klingon was his roommate, so, that's his excuse. He learned how to block shots. Coming up later, Dan Hurley. It will also be Adam. You're Ben.
That's
Ben
right.
with Nathan Davis, the second-year head coach of the Wildcats. But when we come back, it's Paul Roper, the full court press with Gavin Keefe, and a whole lot more. Stay with us. 8:01 tip here on the UConn Sports Network. UConn men's basketball presented by Brown, Painderis, and Scott.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
whoa, my kid's got a serious backhand,
can lead to an even bigger question like,
tennis campus how much?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you to help you build a savings plan for expenses big and small so your money can make money. Mike, how's that sound?
Sounds like match point.
Sounds like love.
We could serve up tennis puns all day.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Heard from Bridgeport to Willimantic. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I look through his eyes. I can envision a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The countdown to tip-off continues with a check of scores from around the Big East and college basketball. Let's go inside the Learfield Network studios.
It's a basketball night in Hartford as the Huskies get set to face New Hampshire on a Saturday night. Paul Roper with you in the Learfield Network studios with an update of scores from the Big East. Just one other game in progress as we go to the Rhode Island state capitol where Providence is hosting Stonehill. It's all Friars in this one, 57-37, with 11:51 left to go in regulation. 3 other games in the books today, starting with a stunner in Walsh Gym where Jackie Johnson's floating buzzer beater gives Fordham a 57-56 win over Seton Hall, the Pirates' first non-conference loss in their on-campus facility since 1989. The other 2 teams from the Big East each taking down foes from the state of Connecticut today. St. John's routs Quinnipiac 96-73, while Georgetown upends Fairfield 69-57. Over on the gridiron, the Huskies' quest for a winning season appeared to take a detour in Birmingham. UConn was down 23-10 at UAB with less than 9 minutes to go. The snap, turns, gives to Edwards. He slides to the left side, and he's free on the left sideline. Cam Edwards inside the 20, and Cam Edwards will score. What a play. What a run by Cam Edwards. Elusive, powerful, and UConn may have put the nail in the coffin with that one. That's Mike Crispino on our airwaves earlier on the UConn Sports Network. 3 touchdowns in a 6-minute span helps UConn clinch their first winning season in 14 years. A 31-23 win over UAB. And men's ice hockey suffers a weekend sweep at the hands of Merrimack after a 5-2 loss earlier today at Toscano Family Ice Forum. We've got the Huskies and the Wildcats coming up from the XL Center. Let's head back there. Bob, is tonight's Full Court Press.
Gavin Keefe on the London Day here in the Full Court Press. What were your takes of opening night?
Oh, it's really impressive, I thought. I mean, a lot of new players. I thought they moved the ball well. They played well together. Liam McNeely seems he's going to be a great addition. The 2 centers played fairly well for an opener. But once again, only the first game of the season. But I thought considering all the changes, they played well.
What is Alex Caravan's next step in his progression to be a really good basketball player? Not that he already isn't.
Wow. Well, I think really for him, he showed a little bit the other night, being more well-rounded, but leadership really is the next progression for him. He's got to be a leader on this team. All the veterans are really soft-spoken guys, Hassan Diawara, Samson Johnson, so I think really taking the leadership reins is going to be important for him.
Did he grow 6 inches? With the 7 blocks?
I know. Well, it's funny because he said Donovan, his former roommate, taught him how to block shots, and then Donovan calls the next day and wants to take credit for it.
Yeah. So. 1 shy of the school record, by the way, that Donovan still has with 8 blocks. This sophomore class, Dan has really invested a lot of time and effort. He's glad they've all stayed in it. Looks like they're going to play some big roles this season.
They have to. He said that it's critical that they all make that jump that all players, other sophomores, have done during Dan Hurley's tenure here. There's solo ball's already showing he's a better shooter. Jalen Stewart seems like he's still kind of figuring out what his role is going to be this year. Once again, really early. And coaches raved about Jaden Ross. And he's going to probably play tonight after sitting out the opener with an ankle injury. So, yes, they have to make significant jumps.
Gavin, thank you as always. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Bob. Nice to have you on basketball.
Yeah, and you get me Wednesday, too. That's Gavin. What's that?
I said, well, you do women, but nice to have in the men's basketball.
Well, I got Wednesday, too. I'm here filling in for Mike. So, yeah, we'll be here. That is Gavin Keefe, the London Day. Scouting report is next as we count down to opening tip of UConn and New Hampshire. This is UConn basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn athletics.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audio-visual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
Husky men's basketball returns in 60 seconds. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's time to take a closer look at today's opponent in the Scouting Report.
Ben Darnell alongside head coach New Hampshire, Nathan Davis. Coach, you're not unique to the rest of the world. A lot of new faces on your roster. Just tell me about that. Like, what's your philosophy in going into a year where you have so much turnover on your roster?
Well, I just think it's the world we live in college basketball right now. It's going to be more of a year-to-year thing. I think it's important that your team is a little bit older than younger, unless maybe you're a blue blood like a UConn where you're going to attract those guys. So it's about trying to build camaraderie, trying to figure out who you are this first third of the season, trying to get comfortable with what you're doing kind of in the middle so that you can be playing your best at the end.
Tell me about some of these guys. Let's start overseas. Sammy Pieces. What's going on with France basketball right now?
Apparently there's a lot of good players over there. He's about the least French guy you'll ever meet, though. He's been in the country for a while. He's actually probably more from Atlanta anymore than he's from the Paris area, but certainly he's come in and started off nicely. He's got to keep improving if we're going to get where we want to go.
And you got some Midwesterners as well. I saw Dayton on the roster. I saw some more Ohio. The Dayton guys are always tough basketball players.
There's something about it. The basketball matters out in that area. They've been around a little bit with Anthony McCombs and Trey, who's been with us now for this is coming up on his senior year. It's his third year at New Hampshire, second year with us. So we need them to play well, to have a chance, and I think that they're going to keep getting better and better as the year goes on.
Short sample size, but you are shooting 40% from three. It feels like your team is built around the arc. Is that the momentum coming into the season as far as building your roster?
Well, we want to have balance. I'd love to shoot all layups. That's not the way it's going to be all the time. We want to, we just want to get good shots. We want hand-to-the-rim layups. We want to get fouled. We want to shoot step-in threes like everybody does. But with the teams we've played so far, it's been more of a kick it out and get those threes. Today, I'm not sure what it'll be. It'll be hopefully we can get some shots off and try to get some rebounds, but we just want to take good shots. If we shoot 100 threes in a game, great. If we shoot 100 layups in a game, great. Doesn't matter to me as long as we're getting the shots we want.
UConn's always dominated with just their size, especially on defense. Samson Johnson can control the paint, and now with Terrace Reed spelling him, those are some big boys down low. Plus, the wings and the guards are very big as well. How do you counterattack that with the size that you're bringing to the table?
Well, I think everyone in the country is trying to figure out how to do that when you talk about UConn right now. Certainly, Coach Hurley's done a great job. They've got really good players. They play really hard, which is the problem. Not only are they good, but they play really hard and they're unselfish. So you got to be patient. You got to try to make sure that you don't lose your poise, that you're strong with the ball, so that you can get shots. You get turn it over, you get your shot blocked. That leads to big run outs, and then they can go on a big run.
American East, I think of Vermont, I think of UMBC, I think of Cinderellas in this tournament. What's up with this conference as far as producing wins in the tournament?
Well, I think the conference is very good. I think that was my first year in it last year, but I've seen it before. And the other coach in the league, the last year was the best year that we'd had in the league in a long time. It's really balanced until somebody beats Vermont. It's Vermont we got to all beat, and that's what we're trying to get. I think we'll have a chance if we continue to improve to be right there at the end.
Talking to head coach Nathan Davis, the biggest thing for this game, what are you trying to get from your team moving towards the future in this early part of the season?
Well, for us, it's look, you want to win every game, but it's for us, it's still about improving. Doesn't matter who we're playing. We're in a one-bid league, so we need to play our best at the end. So we need to learn about ourselves. I think whenever you play UConn, big challenge is rebounding. Great rebounding team. Like I sent 5 to the glass. That's something we've struggled with at times. I thought we did better the other day with that. Let's see how we've improved there. Let's see how we've improved as far as our shot selection, especially when we get in the lane. Can we be stronger with the ball, make better decisions, and those types of things? Can we get back and transition or things that we haven't done as well? And I want to see us do better with those today.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Nathan Davis with us here. The UConn men's basketball pregame continues after this.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
The Huskies live here. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
It's time to check in with UConn head coach Dan Hurley. With the coach, here's Bob Joyce.
Well, Dan, now the dust has settled. You've had a few days to compress and think about opening night. What'd you think of your team's performance in the first game?
Yeah, I think typical first night. Obviously more unhappy than happy. Probably 80% unhappy. Was happy with maybe some individual performances, what some people look like. But I think, overall, obviously, like every other team in the country, we have a long way to go.
Alex gave you 20 points, 7 assists. You'd expect that, but I didn't know he grew 6 inches and had 7 blocks in him.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't expect him to replace Donovan this year. That wasn't what we were thinking we were going to get back. But it was a type of performance you should have in games like that, where he's one of the best players in the country. He's an all-around, outstanding player, and he was like efficient on offense, and he impacted the game all over the court like he usually does.
What's his next step in his progression?
I just think the consistency on nights where on nights where we really need him to be aggressive and assertive and and maybe take 16 shots or 18 shots. I think that's got to be a kind of an evolution for him in becoming the go-to guy, the go-to scorer, along with Liam and potentially Solo.
Speaking of Liam, you walk into Gamble for the first time, all the bright lights, the circumstances, and it's like he's been there before.
Yeah, third generation, college basketball there with the family. So he's got the pedigree, and he's just a serious human being. And I think he's prepared, unlike many other freshmen, in terms of just his maturity and his focus on what he's here at UConn to do.
Jaden Ross, I know you've talked a lot about him. He'll play tonight. What are your expectations for this young man? You've been raving about him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I hope I didn't do too much now and put a lot of heat on the kid. But, I think what we've been seeing the last couple of weeks, especially the last 3 weeks, has been, one of our best players. He's very talented. He brings an energy and an athleticism at 6'7" that is very disruptive defensively and on the backboard, and his shooting looks clean, and we just I think have a feeling that he's got a chance to really surprise people.
UNH, full roster change, 12 new players, but the MO still the same. Chuck the three.
Yeah, it's three. He's got to guard the 3-point line. Transition defense. They're one of the best teams will play at running on makes, not just misses or turnovers, but they run on makes in a real rare way. They're really good offensive team. Shoot the 3-point shot well. So we got to handle our business.
All right, and finally, you've practiced here a lot at the XL Center in the preseason. I don't know if Jim ever did that, the amount of times that you guys have.
Yeah, I think once I saw our shooting splits between XL and Gamble, and I think it became important for us to get over here and shoot in this building more. We haven't played as well here in years past. I think that changed for us last year when we made a concerted effort to drag everybody in here and practice. We've probably been in here 5 or 6 times before tonight, so I think we feel good.
All right, we'll do it again Wednesday. Good luck tonight.
Let's go, Bob.
All right, Dan Hurley, head coach of the Huskies. Lineups opening tap next. This is UConn basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
From the Berkshires to the Long Island Sound, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. No. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. No, by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Home of the 6-time national champions. This is UConn Huskies men's basketball.
Caravan launches a three. Bang! He attacks inside. He lays it up and in. Oh, what a move by the big fella.
Play-by-play coverage of today's game is presented all season long by Key Bank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Today's game is also sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss. Brown, Penderas, and Scott. With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company. Beyond the expected. Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Last Fly Airport Parking. We've got lots to offer. Lippincott Van Lines. The definition of moving excellence. Cloder Farms in Ellington. Best sheds at the best prices. American-made custom furniture. We're worth the ride. Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Make your move. Connect with the top orthopedic specialists at oahct.com. SeatGeek. Whether you're buying or selling basketball tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, so Huskies fans can fan. Trantolo and Trantolo, Connecticut's personal injury law firm. UConn Health, the official healthcare provider of UConn Athletics. Make their doctors your doctors. And by WFSB. Trust Connecticut's largest, most experienced team of meteorologists. The First Alert Weather Team. Only on Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And a kick back to Caravan for three. He hit it! At the buzzer! What a feed, what a shot, and it goes down.
We're minutes away from tip-off. Let's go to our broadcast location. Here's Bob Joyce.
Round 121 of UConn and New Hampshire, 95-25 the all-time series. The Wildcats at 1-1 start Sammy Pieces out of France and Anthony McComb III as the guards. They both average 16.5 points per game. The forwards, Dylan Saunders averages 10 points a game, along with Trey Woodyard, who averages 4.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 4.5 assists per game. And the center is Emmanuel Akpoko, transfer out of Temple, grew up in Nigeria. UConn, no change from Wednesday. Solo ball, Aiden Mahaney in the backcourt. Alex Caravan, Liam McNeely, Samson Johnson up front for the Huskies. Ben's keys in the opening tap after 10 seconds for station ID and these messages. This is UConn men's basketball presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott on Learfield.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
whoa, my kid's got a serious backhand,
can lead to an even bigger question like,
tennis camp is how much?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you to help you build a savings plan for expenses big and small so your money can make money. Mike, how's that sound?
Sounds like match point.
Sounds like love.
We could serve up tennis puns all day.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audiovisual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
Play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball is presented all season long by KeyBank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball.
Time for the keys to the game. I've got 3 for you, Bob. 1, if we're really talking about New Hampshire winning this ball game, they're going to do it from beyond the arc. So for UConn, they have got to have some good perimeter defense. Little suspect in that first half in the exhibition against Rhode Island, where they really lit up the Mohegan Sun with some threes. Don't want to see that tonight. Key number 2, and a little piece of this would be rotations. Still a new bunch. I know they've been playing with each other all summer long. They've looked good against Sacred Heart and Rhode Island, but still might have some defensive miscues just with some different combinations out there in the 5 that are on the floor. Need to have some tight rotations today, especially if you're coming off a screen. Key number 3 and my final key, Bob, foul trouble. This is going to be an issue all year long, and it usually is in the Big East. You know my favorite guy, Samson Johnson. I love it when he's on the court. But usually when he's off the court, it's because he's got 2 fouls in the first half or he's got 4 fouls in the second half. Fouled out against Sacred Heart in just 17 minutes of play. He's not the only one. It's little stuff, too. It's not fouls that go into the rim. It's really getting your hands down on defense when your man has the ball. If they can do those 3 things, I'm pretty sure UConn's going to come away with the win tonight.
Veteran officiating crew, John Gaffney, Tim Clardy, Ed Corliss are your trio of officials as the giant UConn with the flames coming out of it. New feature this year with the lineups.
That's hot.
Yes, it was hot. I told you it was hot.
You can feel it, man.
The Wildcats out of Durham, New Hampshire. That is the southern half of the state. Not too far off I-95. Dressed in the dark blue uniforms, trimmed in white and gray. They have kind of a diagonal pattern up the sides of the uniforms. Says New Hampshire on front. No names on the back. And the numbers are in white, trimmed in a little bit of gray. UConn are the home whites. Trimmed in the national flag, blue and red. There is no trim on the backs of the back of the uniforms where the numbers are and the names above them. And of course, it says UConn on the front, Huskies down the sides of the shorts. As this is the first XL Center game of the season for the men's team. Of course, the women were here on Thursday, and the men will be here again on Wednesday when Lemoyne's in town. I'll have that one along with the Mayor Wayne Norman, who will be back with us after the football teams come from behind win today against UAB. Our opening tap brought to you by Trantolo and Trantolo, Connecticut's personal injury law firm. It'll be Johnson and Akpomo in the center circle. Huskies will go from broadcast left to right in the opening 20 minutes. Glad you can be with us for game number 2 of the men's basketball season. And it's November, it's crazy, and we've got stuff going on all over the place.
This place is packed, an electric XL Center. I walked here, Bob, from our studios, the streets, Pratt Street, saw our friends at Bear's Barbecue. Every restaurant seemed to be completely at capacity before this game got going. They're probably all watching that football game, got geeked up for this one. This place is packed. There's a couple empty seats in the upper bowl, but that's about it.
All right. Akpomo and Johnson in the center circle. Ball goes up. Johnson wins the tap, and off we go here in Hartford as Mahaney runs the point. The St. Mary's transfer. Hands off to McNeely. Top of the key to solo ball. Back on the wing, Mahaney on the right side. Little tricky dribble. Cross court on the left to Alex Caravan. Caravan stop and go dribble. Snaps it off to Mahaney. Mahaney at the hash mark, left with 12 to shoot. Gives the ball in the corner right. Driving is McNeely. McNeely gets bumped, double team, bounce pass out to ball, shot clock down to 3. Here's a McNeely 3 to get it going, missed it from the right, but the Huskies get a rebound, and a 3-pointer by Mahaney goes in and out, and the rebound is grabbed by New Hampshire. And Anthony McComb the third. And McComb will run the point, drive left on Mahaney down the left side of the lane, backs his way out, and sets it up. Here is Woodyard inside, fall away in the lane, back rim and in. And the Wildcats are on the board first as Woodyard gets the hoop.
Yeah, good job by Woodyard, working himself right in the middle of the lane. Just a quick little jumper, only about 7 foot away.
Yeah. One of just 2 players on this New Hampshire roster that played against UConn last year. Here's Mahaney. Floats at the ball on the right wing, goes baseline, gives to Johnson the paint, gets bumped, left hand hook is good. Samson Johnson with the lefty move. And the game tied at 2.
Love seeing that left hand. We saw a lot of left from McNeely in this first night. Good to see Sampson getting started with the opposite hand there.
Here is pieces for New Hampshire. Where's number 0? Guarded by Mahaney. Starts left now, goes right. Hands off to Woodyard. One-on-one with McNeely. Spins in the lane left, takes it to the rim. Oh, turnaround. Good. Went left and spun right, floated one in. And Trey Woodyard, the Valpo transfer, with the first 2 hoops for New Hampshire and a 4-2 lead for the Cats. Here's Mahaney. Point guard for the Huskies. Where's number 20? Uses a screen, goes right. Top of the key to Samson Johnson. Back to Mahaney. Mahaney finds Caravan on the left. Splits the D. Back up top Mahaney. Over here for ball. 3 ball from the right. Missed it off the back rim. Rebounded, grabbed by Caravan. Gets it to McNeely and gets it to Mahaney before he gets bumped out of bounds. Here's Mahaney down the lane. Backdoor ball reverses and hits from the left.
This little baby bounce pass and a great cut on the baseline from Solo.
Here's Woodyard back the other way, finds a cutting Akpomo, and Johnson commits his first foul. about a quarter of the way down the lane on the right side, and the game's first foul to Samson Johnson.
One thing you'll notice about this offense, the ball never stops. UConn is always moving the ball. Nobody's, dribbling it between their legs up the top of the key. Ball's always moving in UConn's offense.
Extremely complex offense for UConn. Woodyard to inbound, gets it in to Saunders for New Hampshire. Trying to post up Caravan, leans left. Caravan gets a block. That's number 8 on the season. Alex to the front court left. He's trying to go coast to coast, gets bumped. Shot is blocked by Pomo, and then the rebound grabbed by Saunders. Off to Woodyard in this 4-4 tie. 2.5 in. 3 ball on the way. It's good. McComb with the 3 ball. His 6th of the year in the Wildcats.
He can
back
get
in front.
hot.
He was 4 for 5 from 3 on the game against UMass Boston. Here is Mahaney in the lane. A little scoop to the rim. Missed it. Still looking for his first bucket. Catch rebound. Akpomo the rebound. Here comes Pieces to the front court. Little dribble goes left inside. Oh, Johnson sends that to West Hartford. As the Wildcats will make 2 substitutions. Caleb Middleton in the game for the first time. He is a 6'11 freshman from Dover, New Hampshire. And Davide Poser will come into the game. He is from Italy, 6'4 sophomore.
To me, that's UConn's defense. I mean, if you get beat to the rim, you have got a 7-footer coming through to clean up some trash.
McComb and Akpomo go out for the Wildcats. Inbound to Sanders, goes baseline to Woodyard on the left side. One-on-one with McNeely, trying to muscle his way down. Lost a handle. Shot clock at 13. Gives it up top to a driving Poser. Puts up a hook shot. Back rim no good. Rebound underneath and a foul. And the UConn big, Samson Johnson, 2 quick fouls as the 6'11 Middleton gets the rebound, and he goes to the free throw line for the Wildcats.
So he swatted at a ball that he was help side defense for, did not get that, and that took him completely out of position for the defensive rebound. His man was able to get it, and with a quick putback, that's when Sampson commits the foul because he's completely out of position going for that original block.
So here's Middleton, 3 for 5 from the free throw line. He sinks the first as Terrace Reed Jr. will come into the ball game for Johnson. We're not even 3.5 in, and Johnson's already on the bench. It's 8-4 Wildcats, pending the second free throw for Middleton. Knee bend, puts it up, good rotation, and it's in. And it's 9-4 New Hampshire. Here's Mahaney to the front court. He's 0 for 2. Guarded by the Frenchman, Pieces. Now it's ball, gives it to McNeely. McNeely left of the key between the circles. Snaps it on the right to Mahaney. Right wing to Caravan. Goes baseline, gets a step strong to the rim, and he's blocked by Middleton, but a foul is called on the 6'11 freshman Middleton as Caravan was going for a 2-hand dunk.
I liked all of that. I mean, I love the attack from Caravan and going right at the rim, and then you kind of hand it to Middleton, not backing down, going up against the big number 11, getting a lot of that ball, but did get some of his arm on the way up.
So here's Alex, who will turn 22 on Monday, to the free throw line to shoot 2. He makes the first. Of course, Wayno told me that today. Wayno's all over that. Today is the birthday of a former basketball player, and I don't remember who Wayno told me it was.
Wayne got a calendar of this stuff?
Of course he does. You know he does.
The daily?
Yep. But that's Wayno. Caravan's second is good. Caravan now 97 points shy of 1,000. 9-6 New Hampshire, 16:20 to go. Here in the first half here in Hartford. Here's Pieces for UNH. Works on Caravan. Spots up for 3, but Caravan reads it, blocks it, ball the rebound. Solo down the middle, all the way to the bucket. He lays it in for the Rights. Defense, starting offense, Ben.
Great take, great finish, and you're right. That was just an individual effort. Caravan was not allowing Pieces to shoot in his face.
Second block for Caravan. Here's Woodyard to Pieces. Hash mark right, goes left to the top of the key. Now works right. Now yo-yo dribble at the foul line. Tough follow away. Got it. Boy, that's a tough shot by Sammy Pieces. His first bucket, 11-8, New Hampshire.
A lot of confidence with number 0 there when he has the basketball.
Here's Mahaney to the front court. Asandiaro will check in next whistle. Here's a 3 ball. It's McNeely around and out. Rebound tipped up and grabbed by UNH's Saunders off the tip. 3-point lead for UNH. 15-15 to go here in the first half. Pieces for UNH. Spots up. Caravan gets another block. He got another piece of it. Although the head coach, Nathan Davis, says otherwise. Here's a Mahaney three. Missed it from the right. Long rebound. Pieces. Grabs it for UNH. And Reed gets called for a foul. And that's 3 fouls on the UConn Bigs already. And we'll take our first break. UConn basketball brought to you in part by UConn Health, the official healthcare provider of UConn Athletics. Make their doctors your doctors. 11-8 New Hampshire, 15:03 to go in the first half. You're listening to UConn men's basketball, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott on Learfield.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a first alert is everything.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
The Huskies live here. You're listening to play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball, presented by KeyBank.
Bob Joyce, Ben Darnell here at the XL Center as our game sponsor tonight is the Connecticut Air National Guard. That's appropriate because it is Veterans Day weekend. And we thank you for your service. You're out there listening to us on the radio. We appreciate you tuning in wherever you are across this great land of ours. Well, Alex Caravan, Ben, his defense continues to be a factor. He already has 3 blocks in this one tonight.
Yeah, and he's gotten 2 on Pieces, and Pieces is your point guard at 6'3". Caravan 6'8". That's 5 inches he's already given up. Now, add the extra height on the wingspan as well. He's just getting into his pocket. Pieces is very confident with his shot, a couple of crossover dribbles. He thinks he can get his shot up on anybody, but not Caravan, not tonight. Already 2 blocks on him. He had another one at the rim. And we're only 5 minutes into this ball game.
Huskies are 3 of 10. They've yet to hit a 3. They're 0 for 5. Meanwhile, UNH is 4 of 9, 1 of 2 from three-point land. New Hampshire comes out with Pieces, Hosier. Rex Sunderland's into the game for the first time. He's a 6'4 junior from Utah. Averages 8 points per game off the bench. Middleton and who's the 5th? Woodyard. It'll be UNH ball. Diarra's in for the Huskies, replacing Mahaney. Pieces off the inbound. Got some good-looking tattoos on that left bicep. Bobbles the dribble. Diarra stays with him now. Hands it off to Poser. Now it's Woodyard, top of the key. Goes left on Caravan. Strong to the rim. Head fakes. Holding his ground is Caravan. Now here's a drive by Sunderland left to right. Ball cuts him off. Shot clock at 7. Tries to duck inside. Floater hits the front iron. No good. And the rebound. Terrace Reed Jr. for the Huskies, wearing number 5 as the Huskies into the front court down 3. Ball right of the key. Goes left. Gives it off to Leah McNeely. McNeely goes to the right. Stops on the wing. Looking for a teammate. It's a bounce pass Diarra out by midcourt. Here's Hassan Diarra with the headband. On the left, up top to Reed. Reed hands off to McNeely. McNeely with 8. Drives left to the rim. Gets cut off. Gives it to Reed. Reed bumps. Power move. Missed it. Rebound slapped out right to McNeely. Gives it to Ball. Fresh 20 for the Huskies. Here's Leah McNeely. Spins left. Towards the baseline. Ducks inside. Puts it up in traffic. No. Rebound tipped up. Spiked to the floor. Woodyard saves it and gets it off the Pieces. So the Huskies just can't find the bottom of the rim right now. 3 of 12 here at the start. Here's Pieces. Left open for 3, and he missed it short. And the rebound of Hassan Diarra. Boy, somebody missed a defensive assignment there. Haas to the front court. Gives to Caravan for a long three. Side of the rim, no good. And the rebound, Sunderland of UNH. So we stay 11-8. Huskies have gone into a drought, missed their last 5. Here's Middleton. Long, lanky 6'11". Gives it to Poser. Now Woodyard on the left wing, guarded by Caravan. Woodyard goes right, spins left, hesitates, throws it back out to Sunderland. Shot clock at 8. Sunderland up by midcourt. Looks for a high screen. Oh, nice dribble to get free, but he didn't shoot it. Now it's Middleton having to create mismatch on Diarra, who gets way up in the air, and it's a shot clock violation as the big fella throws up an air ball from 15 feet.
That's that rotation I was talking about at the beginning of the game. Great job on defense right there, sticking with their man, switching when they had to. Good communication. They're trying to get Woodyard in a one-on-one situation with whoever. Caravan switched off of him. It was McNeely that was guarding him at the beginning of this game. Couple of spin moves. Loves that spin move in the lane. But great job by Caravan now twice shutting him down from that spin move.
Jaden Ross's debut. Where's number 23 for the Huskies this season? Comes in for McNeely for the Huskies. Here's Hassan Diarra. On the right, goes left off a double screen. Left loose for a moment. Now gives to Caravan between the circles. Alex floats it to Reed. Right of the key. Reed with 14 to shoot. Finds Caravan between the circles. In for New Hampshire is Antoni Sharrock. Where's 14? Here's Reed, low post. Bobbles, gets it back, muscles his way up and in with the left hand. He stayed with it despite bobbling it on 2 occasions. 11-10, UNH, 12:30 to go in the half. For UNH, Emmanuel Unkpoko back into the game. Here's a drive, it's tipped loose. Staying with it is Poser. Can't shoot it, gets it out. Here's a 3-ball by McComb that's in and out from the left wing, and Reed gets the rebound for the Huskies. So New Hampshire now, in as much a drought as UConn. They're 1 for their last 9 and 0 for their last 5. And we have an offensive foul on an illegal screen or a push-off. Dan Hurley, either way, not happy. And Terrace Reed picks up the foul, and that's 2 on Reed. So both Johnson and Reed each have 2 fouls.
This is these moments. I mean, they're going to have to go deep into their bench, early in this ball game. It's a regular season game. It all counts. But in the Big East, this is going to be big-time trouble if these 2 guys in particular get into foul trouble this early.
Jalen Stewart into the game for the first time. He wears number 3, so it's Diarra, Ball, Caravan, Ross, and Stewart.
Who's playing the 5?
Caravan? Alex, of course. Played the 5 a lot last year for the Huskies. Here's McComb. Goes left against Ball. Solo stays with him. Spins right. Can't get a shot off. Now getting free is Poser. Gets in the lane. Lost the handle. Right to Okpomo. Turns against Caravan. Puts it up around. Out rebounded by Ball. Good D there by Caravan. 11-10. Huskies looking for the lead. Here's Solo Ball. On the right wing to Hassan Diarra. Diarra directs traffic for the white-clad Huskies. Little crossover dribble. Lost the handle. Gets it back. Gives to Caravan. Slaps it over to the left for a ball 3 that's long off the back iron. And the rebound grabbed by UNH and Sharrock. Now Ball is stealing the front court. Gives it to Stewart. And he lost the handle. Trying to get it to Caravan. Back the other way comes New Hampshire. Here's a 3 by Sharrock. And we get a whistle and a foul.
Looks like it was underneath.
And the foul is underneath, yes, as Stewart's going to get called for a push. And it will be UNH ball when we come back. Neither team shooting the ball well. Huskies 4 of 15, Wildcats 4 of 14. 11-10, 11-18 to go here in the first half. The Huskies and UConn basketball presented in part by JT Gamo, the Suit Store, your destination for sharp, custom-tailored suits that make a statement. Dress your best with JT Gamo. Back in a minute. This is UConn basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown Penderas and Scott.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Heard from Danbury to Norwich, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Hear that?
That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
New Hampshire's made one of their last 10. UConn's made one of their last 7. And we're stuck pretty much at 11-10 with 11:18 to go in the first half. No one gets you closer to the game than SiriusXM College Sports Radio. Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through the regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered anywhere you go. Get a free trial. SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2024. And off the inbound, New Hampshire gets the ball with a 1-point lead off the foul. And the inbound is tipped by Stewart out of bounds on the near sideline to our left. So UNH will have it with still a fresh 30. Foul is on Stewart. Huskies with 5 team fouls. New Hampshire just 1. Inbound. Akpomo on the right goes left against Caravan on the perimeter. Looks to hand it off to a teammate. Still holding. Finally gets it off to Sunderland. And then we have a foul on the perimeter, and Jalen Stewart picks up his second foul.
That's dropping your hands. I mean, this has been called now for over 10 years. This is what we've been preaching on defense for about a decade here, and especially Coach Hurley. Just drop your hands a little bit. That's the only indicator the ref needs to call the foul.
Dan Hurley working on Ed Corliss, and he's got the glasses off, so you know Dan's not happy. Next thing you know, the jacket will be off. Looks like they missed a travel, too.
Yeah.
Akpomo to Sunderland on the right. Works on Stewart, stop and go, drives left, puts it up, no, and we're going to have an offensive foul on UNH.
Akpomo looked like he was trying to seal off Caravan, almost like a block-out move, gets called for the illegal screen.
Second team foul on UNH, first on the Nigerian, Emmanuel Akpomo, who transferred over from Temple. Here's Diarra to the front court. Huskies down 11-10. They've not led yet. Here's Caravan to Diarra. Diarra on the left wing as the Huskies work the weave. Over on the right to Stewart. Now it is Ross, top of the key. His pass deflected, gets it back, gives it to Stewart. Shot clock at 10. Stewart stop and go at the foul line. Works his way down. Backdoor pass, the ball was behind him. Ball somehow gets it back. Throws it out. Stewart for 3. Short. Ball knocked around. Diarra battling like crazy for it, and it's up New Hampshire basketball. As they come out of the pack, here's McComb in the front court. Left a 3 in transition. Side of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Solo Ball. He'll look to run, but the Wildcats are back. But Solo says, so what? I'm taking it to the rim and in. And the foul. Just enough of a hesitation. Ball about a quarter of the way down the left side of the lane, Ben, with that little hesitation move, and he gets the and one with a finger roll. And UConn's first lead.
Yeah, Jaden Stewart fading out to the corner. I think the hesitation was to look his way. He thought he was going to cut to the hoop. Said, okay, you're going to the corner. Your man went with you. I've got a one-on-one opportunity. Took advantage of it. Finished with the left hand there and got the foul. Great job by Solo Ball.
Dylan Saunders, the Iona transfer, commits the foul. McNeely back in for Stewart. And Mahaney's going to check in, probably for Ball. And New Hampshire brings in John O'Neill, freshman 6'9" out of Wisconsin. And that's Jon, like our boy Gallo. Free throw by Ball around and out. So the Huskies lead at 12-11. And Mahaney will have to sit at the scorer's table for the time being. New Hampshire's missed 7 straight shots. Here's Pieces trying to end that. Driving the lane, he gets fouled. Diarra probably gets called for that. It was swatted away, but Diarra got body, so free throws for UNH.
He got burned on a crossover right at the midcourt, too. And Pieces took advantage of that. couple dribbles later, he's right to the rim.
Yeah, Pieces is strong. Junior, been part of the national program. Played JUCO at Chipola College. Won a national championship for his age group in France in 2018. And he sinks the first of 2. New Hampshire is a team, 63%. They make 13 free throws per game as Pieces hits the first of 2.
No fear in this guy. A lot of confidence. He doesn't care that he's playing the number 3 team in the nation.
Nope. Ball out, as we mentioned. Second free throw is good. New Hampshire back out in front, 13-12. We're midway through the first half here in Hartford. It's the Hartford opener for the Huskies. Here's Mahaney. Bounce pass to Caravan. Between the circles. Hands off to Diarra. Diarra goes left to right. Right wing to Mahaney. Mahaney dribbles up top. Here's a Ross 3 straight on. That misses as the Huskies can't hit a 3. They're now 0 for 9. New Hampshire rebounds. Here's Pieces to the front court. Cross-court pass to Poser. They work the perimeter. Here's a 3-ball. Long one by Sunderland, no good. And the ball's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Wildcats.
Getting used to these rims here, Bob. We're all getting used to these rims. There's been some missed threes here in this ball game so far for both teams.
Well, Dan Hurley rolling the dice here with Samson Johnson back in. Comes in for Diarra. So UConn down 1. They're 5 of 18. New Hampshire's 4 of 16. And the two teams were combined 1 of 15 from 3. UConn's 0 for 9. Johnson to Mahaney. Right to left. Caravan, right wing 3. Ring it up. Alex Caravan made 81 last season. Made 5 on Wednesday. And the Huskies back out in front, 15-13. Here is Pieces, guarded by Caravan. Little yo-yo dribble left, throws it back out to Woodyard, drives on McNeely. McNeely cuts him off. Now he drives inside left, spins right, spins left, puts it up, short, rebound, tip up, no good. Rebounded by McNeely. Outlet pass into the front court to Caravan. Over here, Ross reverses and in. Dime of the game brought to you by Dime Bank. Community banking lives here, and the Wildcats call for time. It's a 30, so we'll keep it here with at 17-13 with 8:38 to go in the half, and the Huskies up by 4.
Love seeing that from Alex Caravan. Not just the play, but the leadership. You saw right after that bucket, he goes to every single player to get them pumped up to saying, let's lock in, let's get the lead, let's build on this lead. Plus, I like bringing Samson Johnson in. It allows McNeely and Caravan to play their original positions. It's really hard to work your offense when your 2 5s are going to be on the bench. So this allows them to be wing players, can slash, can do the things that they're used to. Beautiful backdoor spotted by Caravan there, and great finish again from the Huskies. They need more of this in order to build this lead against New Hampshire, who's a very scrappy team and came out ready to play here in this first half.
No field goals in 7 minutes for New Hampshire. Pieces' last field goal for UNH came at 11-8. And it has been cold shooting for the Wildcats since. Huskies with some token pressure as Davide Poser will inbound to Pieces. Italy passing to France there. Here's Mahaney guarding Pieces. Goes left in the corner to Woodyard. He drives baseline, gets free, and Johnson picks up foul number 3, and that was contact all over the place. No, Dan Hurley, he was not straight up.
Well, he was going block to block, help defense, late on the rotation. He goes up, but he's fading into the shooter. Like, he is not set jumping straight up and down. He's keeping his hands straight up and down.
Right, but the body was not even close to being straight up. So here's Woodyard, first of 2, misses short on the first. Dan Hurley would like him from this aspect. He's a Bengals fan. Of course, he is from London, Ohio. Likes the water boy, and he loves shrimp. Who doesn't like shrimp? Unless you're allergic to it, like my wife. Woodyard goes 1 of 2 for the line. He's now got 5, and it's 17-13. But the Wildcats without a field goal now for 7+ minutes. Mahaney to Reed back in with 2 fouls. Here's McNeely, top of the key for the Huskies. Goes right, stumbles to the rim, floats it up. No, and he'll shoot 2 as he punches the basket stanchion with his left hand.
Yeah, he's frustrated right now. He hasn't had some shots go in. Had a couple in-and-out threes. That one I thought had a chance, too. It would have been a great shot to finish.
So Liam McNeely will take free throws 7 and 8 on the young season. Was 3 of 6 on Wednesday. McNeely apparently is a Star Wars fan. He used that reference in the postgame the other day as he uses Alex Caravan as his, he's the Padawan to Alex.
Okay.
The young Padawan.
I heard a McNeely stat on the way to the ball game tonight. First freshman in his debut to have a double-double since 2001. You know the trivia answer?
For the Huskies?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. 01. Would that be the 01-02 season?
It has to be because it's his freshman debut.
Would it be Emeka Okafor?
It would.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, he was a pretty good player, as I heard.
He turned out all right.
Yep, he sure did. He was my son's favorite player growing up. Free throws made, 19-14. 8 minutes to go in the half. Huskies in front. Here's Pieces. Little crossover goes left against Mahaney. Stops left side of the lane, and he dragged the pivot foot for New Hampshire's 4th turnover. UConn has 2. Down to 8:03 to go in the half.
Pieces loves that crossover to his left side. Done that to a couple of guys now at the top of the key.
But Mahaney read it well. Mahaney's not as big as I thought. I mean, he's still way taller than me at 6'3". I mean, that's not hard. I'm 5'8".
His basketball IQ's through the roof.
Yep.
This is why the coach wanted him here.
Mahaney to ball to Ross. Gives it to McNeely. Mahaney comes over on the left wing, gets a read screen. Now works his way as the lane, gets bumped, scoops it, missed it, and he'll get free throws when we come back. As the UNH foul is on Swark. We'll take a break. UConn basketball brought to you in part by Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Get back on the field or just back into life with confidence. Make your move at OAHCT.com. 7:44 to go in the first half. Huskies by 5 on New Hampshire, 19-14 as you're listening to UConn men's basketball presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott on Learfield.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, Certified Financial Planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Hey, Husky fans! Basketball season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UConn basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the UConn Huskies. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
This is UConn men's basketball, presented by Key Bank. Now back to our broadcast location.
19-14 here at the XL with 7:44 to go in the half. Tomorrow, Deb Fish joins me back at Gamble. We've got the women and all our old friend Jose Fernandez.
I knew you'd like this matchup. When I saw it on the schedule, it's like this is one of Bob's favorite teams back when we were in the
USF Bulls will be in town. Jose, now the all-time winningest coach of the American because the Huskies aren't there anymore. But Jose's our friend, 25th year for him. 4 o'clock on the radio tomorrow from Gamble, UConn and USF on the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the varsitynetwork.com. Huskies starting to get things going a little better offensively, Ben. Getting looks, getting shots to fall. The offense looks good, but shots aren't falling.
Well, they're all going to the rim right now.
Yep.
I mean, they're taking, they know shots aren't falling, and the best way to rectify that is shoot a little closer.
So here's Mahaney, who had just made his first UConn point, went 1 for 2 from the line, missed the second one. So the Huskies with a 6-point lead 7:39 to go before halftime. The KeyBank halftime report with Paul Roper coming up. Now pass. Ross goes for the steal. Woodyard defends it well, using his body as a shield, and gets it to pieces. Little stop and go. Goes strong left. Drives the lane off the window and in. Reed really can't come over to help. And that becomes a one-on-one move, and pieces with 6.
Yeah, Reed playing with 2 fouls. Beautiful teardrop there off the top of the backboard.
First field goal in a while for New Hampshire. Here's Reed, left of the key. Alex Caravan will check in next whistle. Here's Mahaney to Ball for 3, left of the key. Front rim no good. Rebounded by Pieces of UNH. 3 Wildcats at the bench, ready to check in. Here's Woodyard. Goes left behind the back dribble. Works inside, and he's stuffed by Ross, and that should be a jump ball. It is, and the arrow goes to New Hampshire. As the Huskies come up with their 5th block of the ball game, as Caravan will check in for the Huskies. He'll replace Ross.
Woodyard loves getting in the lane, loves that spin move, and then rising above. Great job by Jaden Ross timing that out to get the block and get the jump ball.
All right, so the Wildcats bring in Akpomo, they bring in McComb, and they bring in Sunderland. Inbound to Sharuk. Off to Sunderland. Sunderland on the left, goes right, all on the perimeter. Now popping out is Poser, and we get an offensive foul on UNH. Akpomo, I believe, is going to be called for a foul top of the key for a illegal screen. And that is the big fella's second for UNH.
The first one was the same thing. Illegal screen trying to move Caravan out of the lane.
So that'll get Caleb Middleton back into the game for the Wildcats. They play in America East. 16-15 last season, 7-9 in the league. Lost to UMass rather soundly, 103-74. Here's Caravan, low post to Reed, knocked away. Stolen. Here's Poser to the front court. The trailer is McComb. Pull-up jumper, the left elbow is around out. And Mahaney rebounds for UConn. It was Reed that defended the shot. Here's McNeely on the left of the front court for UConn. Bounce pass to Mahaney on the right. Top of the key to Reed. Reed finds Caravan right to left. Caravan attacks out to Ball left corner. Can't shoot it. Gives to Mahaney. Spots up for a triple. And he hits. First field goal for Aiden Mahaney. It's a 3-ball from the right. And it's 23-16 Connecticut.
They needed that 3-ball to drop. They have been in a drought here in the XL to start
UConn
this game.
2 for 12. Here's Poser being mugged by McNeely. Dumps it down low to Middleton. Working on Reed. Top of the key, McCombs. Drives left, head fakes, gives it inside Middleton, and he lost the ball, and it's stripped by Ball off of Middleton, and it's UConn basketball.
Fortunate there for UConn. He had position. He was right underneath the hoop. Just dribbles it off his foot.
Ciaro was going to check in, but Dan Hurley said, come on back. So Ball stays in. 5:40 to go in the first half. Huskies by 8. Their biggest lead. Here's Mahaney. Caravan up top. Long 3. Short. Rebounded by Reed in the left corner. Lost the handle. Gets it back. He's got Mahaney on a pass, but he couldn't get it to him. Now he finally does. Here's Aiden Mahaney. Goes left. Stops. In the lane. Goes right. And he's rejected easily by Antoni Sharuk. And it will be UConn ball as Woodyard back into the game, replacing Poser.
Great job there from Mahaney. He knew he had to take matters in his own hands.
8 on the shot clock. It's a 1-4 low set for the Huskies. McNeely and Caravan setting screens for one another. Mahaney trying to get it in. Gets it into Reed. Double team. Muscles his way to the rim. Misses. Gets his own rebound. Follows up. And no. But he's fouled on the way up. And he'll shoot 2.
That's his game. His game is weight room, down on the block. Can you out-muscle me? And most of the time the answer is going to be no.
So Reed, all 6'10 of them, St. Louis native, played for the University of Michigan, will shoot free throws for the Huskies. And he wears those leggings that you see more and more in the game of basketball. First by Reed is no good. Front rim backboard no good, as UConn now 5 of 8 from the line. More substitutions for UNH as O'Neal and Pieces back in. So McCombs, Pieces, O'Neal, Woodyard, and who's that 5th one on the other side of Reed? Reed's a big boy. He blocks a lot of space. 15. Poser as Reed hits the second.
He blocks out the sun. He's so big.
He is a large man. And Dan Hurley with some words of wisdom as Diarra comes in for him. So 24-60. UNH is just one of their last 12 from the field. UConn a little better at 8 of 25, but that's just 32%. Here's McCombs on the right. Stop and go at McNeely. He retreats to the corner. Now dribbles out in the wing. Snaps it off to Woodyard, left of the key. Starts right. Looks to hand it off to Pieces. Diarra denies. 10 to shoot. Here's Pieces on the right. Goes baseline. Oh, he shoved Diarra. Lost the handle, too. They just call it out of bounds. It'll be UConn ball. But, boy, that was a pretty clear shove from here. We even got to look at that.
Yeah, that's textbook right there. The arm was completely extended. Could have easily been called an offensive foul there on Pieces.
Crispino would have been going nuts on that one. The referee that he is.
When that happened.
Yep. Mike had his fun today with the referees. That's nothing new, though.
What a game for UConn football.
Yeah, that's
today.
a great comeback. Matched their largest ever comeback in FBS history. Here's Ball. Sideline left with 4.5 to go. Gives it to Diarra. Hassan on the right wing. Little stop and go now. Little crossover. Falls. Lost the handle. And gets it off to McComb, who gets it off to Pieces. He'll drive and lay it in. Transition hoop. Hustling hoop for UNH, and Pieces with the finish.
A little too much dribbling from Diarra. That was the second time he's lost his handle and fell down.
24-18. That's Diarra's first turnover. Here's Ball. Right to left. He runs into two, and a foul called on UNH. And it's going to be O'Neal for a push. Team foul number 8 on New Hampshire. Both teams in the bonus now. For the final 4-12 is Alex Caravan. Goes over to talk with head coach Dan Hurley. Dan was sporting the red UConn t-shirt when he walked in today. He had the baseball hat cap backwards with the earbuds in when he came in today. He's a cool dude.
He's getting psyched, man.
Yeah, he is.
I had the same getup.
I believe it. You do it working every day, right? Ball hits the first of 2. Solo played 29 minutes. Career high on Wednesday. 16 points, a career high, too, against Sacred Heart. Solo ball out of Leesburg, Virginia. So he'll get to go home, sort of, when the Huskies visit Georgetown on January the 11th. Short on the second, but he goes and beats everyone for the rebound, knocked away out of his hands by McCombs, and up with it is Pieces. Quickly to Woodyard with 4 minutes to go. 25-18 here in the first half. Woodyard goes left to the lane. Oh, he had an open shot, but Caravan was there. Now McCombs, and we have a foul on the perimeter well before the shot. And it's going to be against UConn. It's going to be in solo ball, and that'll get us to the under 4 timeout. If you're trying to lose weight, nothing works in the long term. Turn to the solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 weightloss.com. 3 minutes, 57 seconds to go in the opening half here in Hartford. It's the Huskies 25 and the Wildcats 18. This is UConn men's basketball, presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott on Learfield.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Heard from Bridgeport to Willimantic. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
by 7 with 3:57 to go here in the first half. 25-18. Not a good weekend for the Ice Bus. Lost 4-1 last night at Merrimack. You heard that on the radio. Didn't get any better today. They lost 5-2 to Merrimack, who jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Huskies host Boston College next Friday night at Toscano. What a wild game they had last night, rallying from 2 down in the last 9 minutes in a top 5 matchup to beat Maine at home. 3-2. Hockey East. Here's McCombs with the free throw line. Makes the first of the 1-1. 19 foul on UConn, by the way. The foul on solo ball. 2 starts for McCombs last year at Bowling Green. Mentioned a lot of newcomers on this New Hampshire roster as McComb goes 2 for 2. Sunderland back in for UNH, replacing Posere. Mahaney, McNeely, Reed, Caravan, and Ball for the Huskies. Here's McNeely. Gives it on the right to Mahaney. Mahaney left-hand dribble, snaps it off to Caravan. Alex back over here for Mahaney. Right in front of us. Now Mahaney starts to the left with 13 to shoot. Gives it left wing to Ball. Ball attacks. Elbow jumper. Side of the rim no good. Reed tips it up. Grabbed by Pieces of New Hampshire. UConn now just 8 for 26 as Pieces trying to go coast to coast. Throws up a prayer. No, and it goes out of bounds. Pieces looking for a foul. Nathan Davis just looks at him and says, calm down, calm down.
Well, he went right into the chest of Terrace Reed, who's playing with 2 fouls. And Terrace on that one does jump straight up and down. Yes. And he went right into his chest. Pieces just kind of throws the ball up, trying to get the 2 shots for the foul, but didn't get the call.
Jaden Ross back in for the Huskies, replacing solo ball. Here's Mahaney. Bounce pass McNeely on the right. Caravan right of the key to Reed, left of the key. Hands off to Mahaney. Mahaney works inside. Scoop to the rim. Rolls off the back iron. No good. Reed the rebound. Muscles his way up and in like a bulldog.
He got the board amongst 2 people, and then he went up amongst 2 people. No problem for big man Terrace Reed.
Yeah, UNH has height to stay with Reed, but they don't have the bulk. 27-20. Bounce pass down low. It's O'Neal. Left block to Pieces. A 3 from the left is long, and the rebound grabbed by McNeely. He's into the front court quickly. Keeps with it. Gets it off to Ross on the right. Stops, and he walked. He dragged the pivot foot. Little too much out of control. That's 5 Connecticut turnovers. UNH with 8 points off turnovers, though. Just 6-2 favor of the Huskies. As more substitutions for UNH. They play a lot of players. As Posere back in, replacing Sunderland. 2.5 to go. The KeyBank halftime report with Paul Roper coming up in just a couple of minutes. Sammy Pieces, Pissis. Started at Southeast Louisiana before coming here. Gets it right to left to McCombs. Pull-up jumper from the wing. Good. A mid-range shot by Anthony McComb III. And that's 7 for the junior, and it's 27-22 in this low-scoring first half. Here's McNeely between the circles. Goes right off a Caravan screen. Gives it to Caravan on the left. Bounce pass Reed. 10-footer. Banked it in straight on. That's how you use the window. Not enough guys use the window these days, if you ask me. Ben used it all the time, though. I know. Playground legend.
Well, that's an Indiana thing. When you grew up in Indiana, you don't use the back.
McCombs trips and falls. And I think he called timeout.
Either him or it looked like Coach Davis had ran out there, knew he was in trouble. Heads-up play there from New Hampshire to save the possession.
So the Wildcats will keep it 19 to shoot at 29-22. Well, if you didn't catch it earlier today, the football Huskies were down 20-3 at halftime. Jim was bluntly honest, talking to Adam at halftime, yet very calm, and all his team did is respond with a huge second half. And they win at 31-23 over UAB for their 7th win, the first winning season since 2010. They get a week off, and then it's Syracuse in 2 weeks, and the B team will be there for that one.
I think today's win proves the culture that's been built from Jim Mora coming here 3 years ago. And, you know, I would say a lot of different teams, even in today's game, would fold being down 20-3. the heart that they showed this afternoon, and really all season long, but this afternoon, I'm glad it went in their favor, because you've been saying this all year. Usually that game doesn't go in UConn's favor. They've definitely turned a corner with that football program. I'm really excited for the rest of the season. And we still got some games to win, and with some friendly foes, I will put it that way.
Yeah,
friendly
we get to go to the Dome in 2 weeks, Ben.
Looking
2 weeks.
forward to it.
Hopefully it's 2 weeks from today, not tonight. Pieces off the inbound, the catch, the reverse, and he beat Mahaney for a layup.
Oh, great finish there. Using the rim to be an extra defender. Nice reverse finish.
29-24 Pieces with 10. He's in double figures, the first player of the night in doubles. Here's Karaban on the left, drives down the middle. We have a foul inside, and Karaban will go to the free throw line as the foul, I believe, is on... it's 33, not 24, so that would be Woodyard's first, but Karaban to the line to shoot 2. Now, if you don't listen to UConn men's ice hockey, they have a Nick Carabin, C-A-R-A-B-I-N, not to be confused with Alex Karaban. Karabin's a grad transfer from Princeton on the hockey team as Alex hits the first of 2.
How many times you called him Alex?
I have not called him Alex yet. But Karaban and Karabin sound an awful lot alike. The bin and ban. The only difference. Read out. Ball in for the Huskies. 93 seconds left before halftime on this Saturday night at the XL Center. Soon to be back to the Hartford Civic Center unless we get a new sponsor, because at the end of the calendar year, no more XL Center. The sponsorship's over on December 31st. Free throws made by Karaban, 31-24. Here's Pieces to the front court. Stop and go on the right. Launches a 3, and he misses. Around and out. Rebounded by Liam McNeely of the Huskies. Head up into the front court. Gives to Karaban. Alex drives. Tries to go through 2 and lost the handle. He's looking for a foul. And it should be UConn ball, right? Yes. Dan Hurley calls out the play from the sideline.
Small lineup here. You got Reed and Samson Johnson on the bench with foul trouble.
Solo ball will inbound. 1-4 low set for UConn. They send Mahaney off a triple screen. Gets the ball in the corner right. Doesn't shoot it. Pieces closed out quickly. Now bounce past Mahaney to ball top of the key. Mahaney on the left. Steps it in the left corner for Ross. Jaden Ross goes baseline. Gives to Karaban. Ducks inside. Lays it up. No, and he's fouled. Ball never even got to the rim. But the junior from Southborough, Massachusetts will go to the free throw line as the foul is on McComb. That is his first. Huskies in the double bonus, but it's a shooting foul nonetheless, so it'll be 2 for Karaban.
I do love how aggressive they've been attacking the rim when the 3 points not falling. That's what you do.
Huskies are 10 of 29, 2 of 13 from 3. And now 10 of 14 from the line as Alex hits the first of 2. Alex tonight, 1 of 4 from the field with a couple of rebounds. Free throw good. McNeely leads the Huskies in rebounding. He's got 6 here in the first half as we're down to the final minute. And 3 Huskies with 2 assists each. Ball, Karaban, and Mahaney. Here's Pieces to the front court. 33-24, biggest lead for the Huskies. Here is Poser. Davide Poser goes right to left, trying to post up Karaban. Alex keeps position well. Turns, throws it out, throws it away. That is just fabulous defense by Alex Karaban.
When he was a freshman, he was not as good defending the block, even close to being as good defending the block as he is tonight and what we expect this year. Like, he can play the 5. You're right.
Tell you what, him coming back is probably the best thing that he could have done.
I agree. I agree with that.
And I believe UConn will take the use it or lose it timeout. They don't have that in women's basketball anymore, so I'm not used to that. It's been a while. You know, I get 1 or 2 of these a year, and it's in November usually or December.
I do like all these kids coming back that were slated to be either late first round or early second round guys. I watched the North Carolina-Kansas game last night that has a lot of NBA talent in it. But just watching Hunter Dickinson and seeing what that's going to do for just the world of college basketball. Ryan Kalkbrenner had 49 points already in his debut for Creighton.
Sam Jones had 30-plus in the opener for Marquette.
Yep. So there's a lot of talent, and I like it. I understand that NIL has a lot to do with it, giving these kids the other option to come back to college. And I think it's great for college sports, especially college basketball.
From what I understand, the game last night was a lot like the UConn-Kansas game last year.
Yeah. 20-point lead at one point that evaporated. North Carolina had a chance to win, a missed three at the buzzer for a chance to tie. And
sounds familiar.
That was the game, yeah.
Wasn't it Cam Stewart that had a chance at the end of regulation last year? Of course, they're not even into that game without Tristan Newton. Newton was just played out of his mind in that game last year. 35 seconds to go in the half. UConn with the ball. Mahaney into the front court. Huskies going from left to right here in the first half in the home whites. Mahaney with 20 to shoot, out by midcourt. Pieces guarding him. Huskies with a 1-4 low set. 13 to shoot. Now they start the offense. Mahaney goes off a McNeely's screen. On the right, now goes left. A lot of dribbling. Here's McNeely. McNeely drives to the rim. Finger roll rattles in. With 3 on the shot clock. Liam McNeely's first field goal. Here's Pieces back the other way. 5 seconds to go in the half. He's cut off by Mahaney. Throws up a prayer, and it won't be answered. It's an air ball from long distance as Mahaney got right in his grill. And we go to halftime with UConn's biggest lead of the game on the strength of 6 straight points. And at the break, it's UConn 35 and New Hampshire 24. UConn 11 of 30 in the first half. New Hampshire 8 of 26. Neither team shot well from 3. Huskies 2 of 13. New Hampshire 1 of 9. Paul Roper in the network studios with the KeyBank halftime report. That's next. In fact, why don't we do this now? 10 seconds for station ID and these messages. You're listening to UConn men's basketball from the XL Center. Presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott on Learfield.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audiovisual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, retirement and investment specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a first alert is everything.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Laz Fly Off-Airport Parking. Located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Laz Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time, every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Laz Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
"20 minutes are in the books. This is the KeyBank Halftime Report. KeyBank is the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Coming up, we'll recap the first half and check scores from across the country. Now, let's go to the Learfield Network studios.
Well, neither team exactly shooting the lights out in downtown Hartford, but it is the Huskies with an 11-point halftime lead over New Hampshire, 35-24. Paul Roper with you in the Learfield Network studios as we take a look at the scoreboard of the Big East. The rest of these games are final. We'll start in South Orange, where Seton Hall hosted Fordham at Walsh Gym. The Pirates haven't lost a non-conference game in there since 1989. That opponent, the Fordham Rams. Could lightning strike twice? 35 years apart, it was Rams basketball. Down by 1 in the final seconds.
Johnson with 3.
Johnson moving left. Coleman on him. Johnson does a running one-hander. It's good at the buzzer, and Fordham wins it. Jackie Johnson III, who was part of the team that Seton Hall beat in the NIT quarterfinals on this floor last year, hits a running one-hander at the buzzer, and Fordham wins the game 57-56.
Gary Cohen on the Pirates Sports Network from Learfield, and that says it all right there. The Rams pull off the stunner and hand the Pirates a 57-56 loss at the buzzer. Rest of the action from the Big East, no contest. St. John's routs Quinnipiac 96-73. Georgetown upends Fairfield 69-57, and Providence crushes Stonehill 76-49. After the break, UConn football comes back in Alabama, and the Southwest Conference comes back to life in the top 25 showdown on the hardwood in Dallas. Presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott with the score, UConn 35, New Hampshire 24. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield.
Hey, Husky fans! Basketball season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UConn basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the UConn Huskies. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
(35-24) Huskies with the lead at the half over UNH. Paul Roper with you as our halftime report continues with a look at scores from the top 25. The Lone Star State taking center stage in college basketball tonight with a pair of top 25 matchups. The first of those in progress from Dallas, where 8th-ranked Baylor has a 58-50 lead over number 16 Arkansas. Coming up at 9:30, 4th-ranked Houston clashes with number 11 Auburn at the home of the NBA's Houston Rockets. Finals from the top 25, 10th-ranked Arizona humiliates Old Dominion 102-44. Number 12 Tennessee tops Louisville 77-55, and it was 23rd-ranked Kentucky over Bucknell 100-72. Over on the gridiron, UConn was down 23-10 at UAB with less than 9 minutes to go. Then they started the comeback.
Takes the snap, turns, gives to Edwards. He slides to the left side, and he's free on the left sideline. Cam Edwards inside the 20, and Cam Edwards will score.
Mike Raspino on the UConn Sports Network. 3 touchdowns in a 6-minute span, capped off by Cam Edwards with a 48-yard run in the final minutes to help UConn clinch their first winning season in 14 years. That was the Fiesta Bowl appearance, and it is a 31-23 win over UAB for win number 7 this season. Meanwhile, men's ice hockey suffers a weekend sweep at the hands of Merrimack after a 5-2 loss earlier today. Halftime from the XL Center, UConn 35, UNH 24. We'll head back to downtown Hartford for the halftime stats after the break. Presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a first alert is everything.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
whoa, my kid's got a serious backhand,
can lead to an even bigger question like,
tennis camp is how much?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you. to help you build a savings plan for expenses big and small so your money can make money. Mike, how's that sound?
Sounds like match point.
Sounds like love.
We could serve up tennis puns all day.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Time for halftime stats here at the XL Center. UConn leads 35-24 over New Hampshire. Leading the way for everyone in scoring is Sammy Pieces from New Hampshire. He has 10 points, also with 3 rebounds to go with it. Anthony McComb, however, had hit the only three-pointer for New Hampshire. He finishes with 7 points in the first half. Also with 5 points there, Trey Woodyard got the scoring started really early in that first half as well. Dylan Saunders, Emmanuel Akpomo, and also Caleb Middleton played with 2 fouls there to end the first half. For UConn stats, Alex Karaban leads the way with 9 points, most of them coming from the free throw line where he is 6 for 6. Liam McNeely leads everyone in rebounding. He finished with 7 rebounds, 4 points in that first half. Samson Johnson played with 3 fouls there in the end of the second half. He was on the bench most of the time. He only had 2 points and only 1 shot attempt with 4 minutes of play. Solo Ball had 7 points, 4 rebounds. Terrace Reed, 7 points, 5 rebounds. Terrace Reed also with 2 fouls, ending that half. Also, Jalen Stewart in foul trouble there as well. Leading the way in the superlatives there for scoring, UConn in every single category. 8-4 off of turnover points, 18-10 in the paint, 5-2 in second chance points, 6-5 in fast breaks, and UConn's bench with 9 points, and New Hampshire only with 2 points. Shooting has really been the issue for both teams. 1 for 9, as I said, 3-pointers for New Hampshire, 2 for 13 for UConn, really getting their business done at the rim, including a bunch of free throws that come along with that. They were 11-15 of the line, and that basically is how they built this lead of 11 points, 35-24 here at halftime. Also for UConn, getting onto the court was Hassan Diarra. He has yet to score a bucket. Jaden Ross did have 2 points with 1 field goal, did miss his 3. Jalen Stewart yet to score, but did record some time there, especially with the foul trouble for the big guys. Assists to turnovers, 9 turnovers for New Hampshire to 4 assists. UConn with just 5 turnovers to 7 assists. Blocks, Alex Karaban has found his ability to block every single game. 7 against Sacred Heart. Finished the first half with 3 blocks already. And that is 5 for a team total for UConn. 35-24 is where we're at. 11-point lead here at halftime. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to UConn Men's Basketball presented by Brown Panderas and Scott on Learfield.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Connecticut. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Connecticut and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Connecticut.
Welcome back to the Veterans Memorial Coliseum at the XL Center. That is what it is called officially. Bob Joyce, Ben Darnell here. Paul Roper back in the studio. Great to have you with us on this Saturday night. We've been going at it since we took air at 1 o'clock today for the football pregame. Guys should be on the plane, heading home from Birmingham after their win. Huskies will take on the Dolphins of Lemoyne up from the Syracuse area. That'll be Wednesday night. I'll be filling in for Mike once again, but the mayor will be with me. 6:30 on the radio for that one. And then no action for the men next weekend. In fact, the women's game at North Carolina next Friday, and then after that, nothing for us on the radio till the following week. So we get a break.
This is my first time being in the XL Center, seeing it tore up underneath. I didn't know all the construction was going on. A lot of the floors being replaced right now. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff nobody can notice. But they're getting to work on it, huh?
Yeah, they sure are. They sure are. It'll be UConn ball to start the second half. The Wildcats break their huddle first, and they should have their starting five out there of Pieces, Saunders, McComb, Akpomo, and Woodyard. Perusing here, New Hampshire has 3 and foul with 2 fouls. Saunders, Akpomo, and Middleton with 3. And then Johnson with 3, Stewart with 2, Reed with 2. Reed will start the second half for Johnson. And the Huskies lineup otherwise the starting 4 of McNeely, Caravan, Mahaney, and Ball out there for the Huskies. Now this Caravan will let him bound just to my left, and away we go here in the second half as the fans stand up here in Hartford. Bounce pass, solo ball on the right side in front of the UConn bench, out between the circles to Mahaney. Now Reed back to Mahaney on the right. Mahaney left-hand dribble, gives to Caravan up top, starts left, goes right, gives it to Mahaney in the right wing. Mahaney off a Caravan screen, up top to Reed. Reed hands off the ball. Ball attacks in the lane, lost the handle, still loose on the floor. Wildcats up with it. Akpomo trying to get away from Caravan and McNeely. He's trying to get it to the New Hampshire guard Pieces, but Pieces can't get it there, and he throws a baseball pass to McCombs, who stumbles, keeps the dribble into the front court. Boy, Mahaney was doing a really good job denying Pieces of the ball. Here is Akpomo to start the second half as UConn opens with a turnover. Woodyard down the lane, right side, lays it in. And New Hampshire with the hoop, 7 for Woodyard. And it's 35-26, just the start of things. Second half here in Hartford. Here's Reed at the left elbow. Gives it to Alex Caravan. He's greeted by Saunders. Gets a screen from Reed. Pops a 3, left of the key. Bullseye. Net never moves. And Alex now in doubles with 12. Second 3. Both of his field goals are long distance. 38-26. That pom-pom getting away. Oh, pass stolen by Reed, and then he stumbles because it's a 2-minute tripping penalty on Akpomo.
That'll be his third, right? He had a couple offensive fouls in the first half.
If this were hockey, it would be a penalty shot because he was on a breakaway.
Do we have that impeding the fast break call in men's college basketball?
No. They have that in the NBA, right?
Yeah, NBA, WNBA.
Okay. Dan Hurley flexing his biceps. No, he's calling the play, actually. 2 of the officials are getting together. Huh? Should be good. I think it's just a check to make sure they got the foul right. It's on Akpomo, and he has 3. Solo ball to inbound at the hash mark. on the far side. Here's McNeely down low to Reed. Tries to dunk it, and it's partially deflected by Middleton, who's back in, and he commits the foul, and that is 3 on Saunders.
I love that.
I'm sorry, Middleton.
That side out of bounds right there. Get McNeely the ball in the corner as he flashes off the screen from Terrace Reed. Terrace Reed then pins his man, and he's in perfect position for that post entry.
First is good by Reed. Led the Huskies in rebounding on Wednesday nights. He has 5 tonight. McNeely has 7 to lead the Huskies. Reed swishes both free throws. He's got 9 points, and the Huskies lead it 40-26, their biggest lead of the ball game, as we're 95 seconds into the second half. Here's Pieces sprinting to the front court with Mahaney on him. Puts on the brakes and sets it up for the Wildcats. Bounce pass to Saunders. Gives it to Middleton. On the right wing, hands it off to Woodyard. Woodyard being harassed on the right side, picks up his dribble. McNeely all over him. Bounce pass to Saunders. He has a mismatch on Ball. Ball falls down and doesn't sell the hoop. And then Ball on the floor is going to get called for a block.
I don't know how that can possibly be. He's laying on his back. His man goes, unless we're calling a trip or something, but that is definitely not a body-to-body block call.
Dan Hurley with Luke Murray and Kamani Young get together with Solo. Have a little chat. Dylan Saunders to the line. 6'8 sophomore from Roanoke. His first free throws of the season. Front rim around and in. 21 games at Iona. And he was a 2-time state champion in high school with Saunders. Where's number 3 for the Cats? They'll play Fairfield on Tuesday up in Durham. Second one good. So 40-28. Each team is 1 for 1 from the field here in the second half. After the struggles of the first half, here is Caravan off to Reed, left of the key. Terrace Reed hands off to Mahaney. Mahaney lost the handle, but ball picks it up. He drives foul line, gives to Caravan on the right wing. Alex drives in the lane, and he traveled. They probably could have called the travel a player or two sooner.
I think it's officially a double dribble. He gets it caught in his waistband a little bit. As he takes extra steps, then he puts the ball back down on the court.
7th turnover on the Huskies. Second on Alex. Second this half. As we've played 2.5 here in the second half, Huskies by 12. Here is Pieces to the front court, harassed by Mahaney. Hands off to Saunders. Now Woodyard. Top of the key, guarded by McNeely, the freshman. Woodyard goes left, spins right in the lane. Floater, good. That's pretty.
Loves his spins. He spins in the lane, and then he goes up with his shot. Loves that move. He's done it about 4 or 5 times already tonight.
Wildcats within 10. Here's Ball, top of the key. Goes right. Doesn't use a Caravan screen. Now gives to Reed up top. Reed on the high post. Gives to Alex Caravan for 3. Bullseye.
You can't go under that. You have to go on top of that screen or Alex Caravan's going to make you pay. He knew he was shooting that before he got the ball just because the way his defender went underneath that screen.
Timeout. I believe UConn called it off the make, and they did, and we'll take a break. With UConn up 43-30 as the Huskies on the UConn Sports Network, brought to you in part by Johnson Brunetti, the official wealth management sponsor of your UConn Huskies. 16:59 to go, second half at Hartford, 43-30, the Huskies. This is UConn men's basketball presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott on Learfield.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health. Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
The UConn Huskies are on the air. You're listening to UConn Men's Basketball, presented by KeyBank. Now back to our broadcast location.
43-30 the Huskies. We played 3 minutes and 1 second here of half number 2 as Ben's getting down with the UConn pep band. Do you have more complex legal issues that are personal, business, or both? With Brown, Banderas, and Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit bpslawyers.com or reach us at 860-CALL-BPS. That's 860-CALL-BPS. Well, each team is 2 for 2 from the field here in the second half, Ben, in the first 3:01. Both of UConn's field goals are 3 balls, courtesy of number 11.
And that's going to stretch some things out towards the perimeter for UConn's offense to start operating inside with a little bit more flow. Works out real well when you can stretch the defense, have to pay attention from that deep three. Alex Caravan with both of them for UConn, and you got to respect that guy, man. I mean, they were looking at him to be an NBA player for a reason last year. And if you're going to be in the NBA, you got to shoot the deep ball, and Alex Caravan's proven he can do it.
Huskies going to press here off the timeout. Hassan Diarra into the lineup. UConn 5, Diarra, Ross, Ball, Caravan, and Reed. Here's pieces to the front court. We have a foul, and they're going to call Alex Caravan for a foul, I believe. Caravan a little bit miffed at that call. As John Gaffney made that call. Dan Hurley's got a quizzical look on his face, too. Alex is first. Team
like
foul number 2.
He was just trying to get around to his guy.
Yeah.
It looked like he wasn't trying to impede anyone from doing anything.
Nope. Here's Saunders on the inbounds to Middleton. Caleb Middleton gives it to Pieces. Off a screen for 3, and he hits. Going left. Boy, and he's a lefty shooter, too.
Yeah.
13 for Pieces. First 3 of the game. Lead is 10, 43-33. Here's a Diarra to Caravan. On the right wing. He's being guarded by Woodyard. Gets a Reed screen. Works his way in. Now snaps it on the left to Ross. On the right to Diarra. Haas off a double screen. Hesitates to the rim from the left. Lays it up and in. Got the bounce as he got elevated against Middleton.
Well, English there. Spinning it off the rim. Getting that roll.
45-33 UConn. Here's Pieces going baseline on Diarra. Strong to the rim. Diarra gets a piece of it. Reed rebounds off to Haas. Number 10 to the front court. Snaps it off the ball. Free for 3 from the right. Missed it. Rebound. Caravan. Spins, gives to Ball, lays it up. No, but he gets the tip from the left. It's a waste of a good assist, though.
Got the rebound.
Solo will tell you that. He'll look at Alex later and go, my bad. 47-33 matches UConn's biggest lead. Here's Woodyard on the right, trying to bully Ross down there. Here is Pieces. 15:25 to go. The Huskies by 14. Pieces to the rim. Stripped by Diarra. Off Pieces. And out of bounds. Fine defensive play. Back-to-back possessions. Hassan Diarra, a block and then a strip. Off Pieces. And it will be UConn ball when we return. If you're looking for better banking, huddle up with Dime Bank. 14 convenient locations throughout Connecticut and Massachusetts. Dime Bank, community banking, lives here. 47-33 the Huskies. 15:23 to go, second half in Hartford. This is UConn men's basketball, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott on Learfield.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
We're back in 60 seconds after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back here in Hartford as UConn back up by 14. Tuesday night, we've got another edition of the UConn Men's Basketball Coaches Show. We'll tape it Monday, and you can hear it Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, with Mike Crispino, Coach Hurley, and a guest, either a player or an assistant, right here on the UConn Sports Network, Varsity Network app, varsitynetwork.com. 47-33 here, UConn ball. Hassan Diarra, suddenly the defensive stopper, gives it to Solo Ball. Huskies going from right to left in the second half. Here's Diarra, gets bumped on the perimeter by Sunderland. Well, we haven't seen a lot of shots, Ben. Only 10 shots so far here in the second half, but much more efficient by both teams here.
Yeah, everybody's finding their rhythm. I think everybody's really excited to come out here in the first half. And just a little bit off the mark. And now, especially just the rhythm of their offense, Alex Caravan got that party started real quick.
Ball with the inbound to Ross. Hands off to Diarra on the right. He dribbles left on the perimeter. Gives a scoop inside and a read. Emphatic. Two-hand dunk.
Beautiful dish right there. Little wraparound pass in the lane from Hassan Diarra.
Reed in doubles now with 11. Second one, and then a throwaway by the Wildcats. And Reed a part of that, too, forcing a turnover, the 12th turnover for the Wildcats as Sunderland threw it away.
And so was Hassan Diarra. He's in his space, and that's really the reason you have Hassan Diarra out there leading the team. He's the defensive leader up top.
Yeah, 3 of the last 4 possessions for UNH. He's been a big factor, but then Diarra to ball, Solo almost dropped it. Saves it, gets it to Reed and Diarra. On the left wing, curling off is Ross. Here's a 3. It's no good from the left side. Rebound slapped to the floor. Last touch by Woodyard of UNH.
And that's Alex Caravan hustle right there, going after that ball, making Woodyard tap it out.
Yep. Now the officials get together, and I'm not sure what they were chit-chatting about, but Hassan Diarra will inbound to the baseline to our left on the side of the basket closest to the UConn bench. Tom Moore, Luke Murray, Kamani Young looking from the sideline. Hassan Diarra gets it into Caravan. A jumper from the wing, no good. Rebounded by Woodyard. I think it would have been a 3, but a miss. Woodyard will bring it up himself for the Wildcats. Dressed in blue, stop-and-go dribble. Drives on Caravan, who rejects it out of bounds. The enforcer, Alex Caravan, with his 4th block of the game. Somewhere, Donathan Klingen's watching going, heck yeah, that's my roomie.
He goes right up with Woodyard, chest to chest, and he's just there. He's got his hands straight up. He's like, all right, you're going to put the ball there. I'm just going to block it.
Poser to inbound, checks in for New Hampshire. Here's Pieces, just right of the key. Tries to work his way in, little crossover. Stripped by Diarra, gets it back to Pieces, gives it off to Poser. Poser goes left, gives it off to Sunderland. Shot clock at 7. Here is Rex Sunderland trying to work inside against Ball. Scoop, throws it up at the rim and in, but they're going to call a foul on the floor before the shot. Regardless, that's a spectacular hoop. That doesn't count, but...
Well, he may have been a victim of the student section right there. They're doing the countdown about 3 seconds early than they were supposed to.
Well, you should look at the clock, right? Don't you look at the clock?
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on.
I understand that. Poser having all sorts of issues getting it in. Finally does in the corner to Saunders. Pieces looking for somebody to set a high screen. Akpomo back in there for New Hampshire. Now it gives it to Akpomo. Runs over Ball. Nothing called. Floater good. Ball tried to sell it, but Emmanuel Akpomo gets his first bucket of the ball game. 49-35. Here is Diarra off to Jaden Ross. First game back for an ankle injury. Did not play Wednesday. Here's Reed on the left wing. Hands off to Diarra. Haas to Ross. Right side for 3. Bullseye for Jaden Ross. Just his second career 3. He was 1 of 11 last season. Here's Pieces the other way to Poser on the left. Drives in the lane, spins left. Now tries spinning right. Ross holds position. And then Poser throws it away. Turnover number 13 on the Wildcats. As Johnson and McNeely in for Ball and Reed. You were saying?
Jay Ross getting really comfortable out there. I mean, he's had a lot of minutes tonight, probably because of the foul trouble of the big guys for the most part. But to knock down that 3 as well, like that gets the whole team energized. Everybody roots for Jaden Ross on this squad. And when he knocked down that 3, the entire bench went on fire.
Gave UConn their biggest lead. Diarra off a screen gets fouled. Going left to right. They're going to call that on Sunderland. That's his second, team's 4th. So it will be Huskies ball at the hash mark on the far side. Diarra with the headband will inbound it. Finds McNeely also wearing a headband. And he walked. Yeah. That was pretty easy to call. Bob Joyce could have called that and would have.
As great as Liam is, and he is going to be spectacular this year. He's still a freshman. He's had some freshman mistakes. Had one against Sacred Heart, a turnover that ended to a layup, and that one right there is just total freshman mistake.
Here's Pieces, 52-35 UConn, their biggest lead of the evening. Now it is Poser goes baseline left, spins on McNeely, and McNeely holds his position, but he gets called for a tic-tac foul, and Dan Hurley with hands out, saying, really?
A little bit of bump there in the waist as he got that ball. He kind of chest up his defender and moved him a little bit.
Each team with 14 fouls. Poser looking to inbound. He's got a cutter wide open. Sunderland beat Ross and lays it in.
Yeah, Ross falling asleep there on the backside. Great cut. Good finish.
52-37. First field goal by Sunderland. Here's Haas. Hassan Diarra on the right. Up top, Samson Johnson. Backdoor Diarra lays it up and in.
Great pass there from Samson Johnson, the big man from the top of the key with the bounce pass for the layup.
That was a gorgeous pass. 54-37. Pieces trying to answer. He runs Diarra over and gets called for the offensive foul.
Diarra's been bothering Pieces.
He has. Hassan has been a big factor here last 5 or 6 minutes. Jalen Stewart even gives him 5 coming out. As Caravan will go out. Take a breather. Huskies with Ross, McNeely, Samson Johnson, Jalen Stewart, and Hassan Diarra. Stewie's in there. Here's Diarra up top to McNeely between the circles. Goes left, now spins right. Right-hand dribble, back on the left to Ross. Ross goes baseline on Woodyard to the rim, reverses and scores! Wow! That's a power move there by Jaden Ross. Back the other way comes New Hampshire. Pieces up top to Woodyard. He'll drive, but run into Samson Johnson. And he backs it up. 7 for Ross. Boy, that's his highlight reel shot there. Johnson blocks the shot by Woodyard. Outlets to McNeely. 1-on-1 to the rim. Lays it up, and he's fouled as the shot goes awry, and we'll get to the under 12 timeout. Huskies having another block party. 8 blocks tonight as a team. as they up the lead to 19 at 56-37 as they are slowly starting to pull away. When you're out of town and want to keep up with live college sports, be sure to download the free Varsity Network app, available for both Apple and Android. Listen to college sports live with the free Varsity Network app. 56-37 Huskies, 11:37 to play. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
Hey, Husky fans, basketball season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UConn basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the UConn Huskies. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids dealing with unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness or disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Help us get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org. Team Impact. All in, all together.
This is UConn men's basketball, presented by Key Bank. Now back to our broadcast location.
Back here at the XL Center, tonight's game sponsor, the Connecticut Army National Guard. Bob Joyce, Ben Darnell, as we like to call ourselves, the B team. Bob and Ben, with Paul Roper back in the studio. 11 minutes, 43 seconds to go. Huskies 56-37 on UNH. They've outscored the Wildcats 21-13. Here in the second half.
How about Jaden Ross tonight? Beautiful reverse layup there right before we went to break. He's playing with a lot more confidence. We knew he was going to get a lot more minutes this time around, and everyone cheers for this guy. I mean, Mike and Wayne are big fans of him. The whole entire team's big fans of him. He's getting a lot of minutes today against New Hampshire.
So here's McNeely to the free throw line. And it should be duly noted, this is a New Hampshire team. The first two games, they've made 12 threes per game. They're just 2 for 10 tonight. Pieces is 1 of 6 as McNeely makes the first of 2. Liam McNeely, Richardson, Texas, the 13th overall recruit that was a McDonald's All-American to play for the UConn men, as McNeely rattles the second one out. So he's got 5 on the night, but leads the Huskies with 7 boards, and the Huskies by 20, their first 20-point lead of the ball game. Here's Dylan Sanders over here to McComb, Anthony McComb the third. Little crossover on Ross, who stays right with him. Beautiful spin move, rejected by Samson Johnson, but the fiddling and diddling of McCombs gets him to the free throw line as he's fouled by Ross. I think I used a Johnny Most term there, fiddles and diddles.
Yeah. Well, one thing you got to know as a defender when you got Samson Johnson behind you, that you don't have to be the one that goes up.
Right.
All you have to do is make your man go up for the shot, and then you've got, 8 foot of wingspan coming your way.
Yep. McComb misses the first of 2. According to the bio on the UNH website, he likes LeBron James and he enjoys ribs.
He's from Dayton, Ohio.
Great Air Force base here. If you've never been to the Air Force Museum there, it is a phenomenal museum.
First in flight.
Yep. 1 of 2 for McCombs from the free throw line. UConn lead is 57-38 as Ross brings it up for the Huskies. Gives to Hassan Diarra, who's been terrific here in the second half. Wraparound pass to Johnson in the lane. Keeps the pivot. Gives to Ross in the left. Left corner. Stewart steps back for 3. Rattles in and out. And the rebound grabbed by Anthony McComb. To the front court quickly. 3 ball. No good by Pieces. Slapped out by McNeely. Grabbed by Akpomo of UNH and the Wildcats reset. Here's Pieces, who's 1 of 7 from 3 tonight. Gives it to Woodyard. Trey Woodyard gives it to Pieces on the left. Trying to back his way down now. Works right, goes left, fall away. Front rim no good, and McNeely grabs his 8th board. Off to Diarra. Hassan to the front court. Alley-oop and a dunk for Jalen Stewart. Gorgeous floating pass. Diarra to Stewart for 2.
We're in the same line of sight. How did he see that? How did he know that Jay Stu was right there to rise up? Great vision.
Probably practiced that once or twice. And then Ross gets called for a foul. Instead of a ball tipping out of bounds, Dan Hurley was ready to take his jacket off. It was halfway off, and he put it back on. Dan's in mid-season form working those referees. Boy, I'm glad I don't have a baseball coach going after me like that. I appreciate everyone who coaches in the Middletown board group each and every day. Here's Okpomo. Just remember that come springtime, guys. Here is Sunderland at the left elbow for the Wildcats. Backs it up. He's got Samson Johnson covering him. Trying to get it to Okpomo. Now takes it to the rim, and Johnson just bangs that off the backboard like it was nothing. McNeely rebounds off to Diarra. Haas keeps the pivot foot. Drives inside. Gives to Johnson. Bounce pass. Stewart dunk from the left. And UNH will call for time.
Another great look for Samson Johnson. Baby bounce pass. That's his 2nd assist. It's just a beautiful job by the big man getting the ball low.
We'll let the fans go crazy. 26-14. Hey, we want to give good luck tomorrow not only to a couple of UConn teams. Paul Caddy's field hockey team and Margaret Rodriguez and the women's soccer team. They will play for Big East Championships tomorrow. Women's soccer and Xavier, I believe that's 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1 tomorrow. And then the field hockey team on the digital network will play Temple. And that's a big one for the UConn women's soccer team because they need a win in all likelihood to get to the NCAA tournament. So we wish them all the best tomorrow. I know on our flagship you had our boy Giardino on the air yesterday. I listened to that on my way up to Merrimack.
Those 2 programs in particular, he's been following them all year.
Yep, there's a lot of stuff for UConn Plus and the Big East Digital Network when he's not working with us. 61-38, largest lead of the game for UConn. They made 5 of their last 6. New Hampshire's 0 for their last 4 without a field goal in 3 minutes. Here's Woodyard. Baseline on the right, trying to back down McNeely. Goes left. No spin. Here is McComb going baseline. Fall away over Diarra. No good. Rebounded by McNeely. And that's his 10th board, McNeely. Here's McNeely to the front court. Stops. Gives to Stewart on the right side. Hands off to Ross. Ross, power to the rim, scoops and scores. Boy, Jaden Ross has a wonderful first step.
And he's so long, too. Only needs 1 dribble to get the rim from the 3-point line.
63-38. Huskies pedal to the metal here in the second half. Here's Woodyard driving left to right. Stewart stays with him. Woodyard tries again. Bounce pass down low, and that's foul number 4 on Johnson. He's just all over the back of Okpomo. That was pretty easy to call.
There's just no need for that. I mean, he's reaching for the ball on the dribble. He's the block guy. Let the guys that steal the ball from the dribble steal the ball on that side of the ball.
Right. Here comes Caravan, Ball, and Reed for Ross, Diarra, and Johnson. Boy, Haas really gave him some really good minutes, Ben.
Defensively, he was all over the place, especially on pieces. It's been a thorn in his side. Every time 10 is out there, he disrupts something and makes it very difficult for New Hampshire to get into a flow of an offense.
Huskies with 6 straight. It's an 11-1 run over the last 3.5 minutes. And a 63-38 lead. They've doubled up the Cats here in the second, 28-14. Okpomo to the line for 1-1, and he sinks the first of now 2 as he gets the bonus. Now 4 of 7 on the year from the free throw line. Grad student from Temple, Emmanuel Okpomo, started his career at Wake for a year after going to Oak Hill Academy, then 3 years at Temple. Oak Hill, of course, one of the more famous high school basketball places. Second one missed. Reed the rebound. UConn has out-rebounded New Hampshire 30-23. McNeely leads the way with 10. Here is McNeely, right to left between the circles. Looks right, looks left, now gives it on the right to Alex Carabano. Dribble drive, back to McNeely. Spots up for a triple. He's got it.
That was a deep three, almost from the Madison Reed logo there, Bob.
That's a big Madison Reed logo as McCombs the other way, left to right, scoops and scores. And he's in doubles with 10. McNeely now, point shy of a double-double for the second straight game. Actually, he's got 8. That's right, 5 and 3 is 8, Bob, not 9 on your scorebook. Here is Stewart on the left, off the ball, right of the key. He'll dribble drive. Give it inside to Caravan on the right. Banks hits and fouled by Akpomo.
Great patience there on the block. Little pump fake, hesitation. Gets Akpomo up. Goes right to his chest, fades away, uses the backboard glass, gets the and one.
Not bad for a birthday boy. He's going to be 22 on Monday. His IQ is off the charts, Ben. That's one of the more impressive things about Alex.
Well, he's been in this program for 2 years, and this is his third. I mean, anybody who goes through this program and plays the minutes they play, your IQ is going to be off the charts.
Akpomo and Woodyard out. So they bring back John O'Neill. Let's set up the New Hampshire lineup. It's Pieces, Sunderland, O'Neill. McCombs is the free throw missed, and ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll stay UConn ball. Saunders, the 5th New Hampshire Wildcat.
Looks like they're going to call a foul here.
Yep. Yeah, Saunders gets called for the foul, and that would be number 3 on Saunders. So McNeely to the free throw line. Both teams in the bonus with 8:02 to go. And the Huskies in control as McNeely hits the first of 2. Liam, free throw away from a double-double, number 2.
Look how big Liam's feet are. I think he's going to grow some more. I don't think he's done growing yet.
I don't have. What size feet do you have?
12.
Yeah, I got 8.5.
Those look like 18s.
I know. Liam's a big boy.
Yeah, he is.
There's a reason why he's one of the highest recruited players in the country. 70-41 as the Huskies have put this one on ice. Here is McComb driving right to left. Gets 2 Huskies up in the air. Uses glass. Banks it. No, and he's fouled. As McNeely and Reed are having a chit-chat defensively, and we'll have free throws when we come back here on the UConn Sports Network. Women in USF tomorrow. Gamble Pavilion. 4 o'clock for the pregame. Join Deb Fisk and myself for all the action here on the UConn Sports Network from Learfield. It's 70-41 Huskies. 7:48 to go in the ball game. This is UConn men's basketball in Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Husky men's basketball returns in 60 seconds. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Well, it's an 18-5 run right now. Huskies have made 5 straight shots. Lead it by 29-70-41. We're here Wednesday, 6:30 for UConn and Lemoyne. Wayne Norman will be sitting where Ben Darnell is sitting right now. All the action on the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the VarsityNetwork.com. As the Wildcats to the free throw line. Down by 29, Ben, with 7:48 to go.
Playing really good defense here in this second half. You know, as much as we talk about the missed threes and the struggle shooting, I'm pretty sure they preach defense no matter what the situation is on the court, and that has turned into some beautiful offense on the other side.
New Hampshire just better shooting percentages, I guess, in the first half. 6 of 13, though, here in the second half. But 14 of 39 for the game. Huskies shooting 13 of 18. They're up to 50% now, 24-48.
Well, UConn's worked out some good shots where they've been able to really square their shoulders, get set, and go straight up and down. New Hampshire's been fading away. They've had hands in the face. I haven't seen an open look from New Hampshire here in the second half.
Well, it's been good D by the Huskies as McComb hits the first of 2. He's now 4 for 5 from the free throw line. He's in doubles. Pieces is in doubles. Huskies at 3. Caravan with 17. Reed with 11. 10 for McNeely, who has a double-double. Once again, 70-43. Free throws made by McComb. And it's Huskies with the ball. Alex Caravan leading score to Mahaney. Mahaney on the diagonal. Here's a 3-ball on the way. Air ball by Mahaney from McNeely. Rebound Caravan inside ball. Contact at 1. As he flexes, sitting on the floor.
He just kind of threw that one up to the rim, caught the block part of the rim, the back of the rim, and just squeaked it in there for the and one.
Don't you just love it when it dies on that back iron and just falls in?
Great look, too, from Alex Caravan to get him the ball.
Sunderland the foul. That would be foul number 3 on the 6'4 junior from Utah. Here's ball, lefty. Swishes it. He's now 3 for 4 from the line. Has 12 points. 4 Huskies now in double figures. 38-19 here in the second half. Here's Pieces, who has not been a factor here in the second half. Caravan the strip and steal. But he can't control it. Can't get a freebie. Gives the ball. He'll take it to the rim. Scoops and misses, but he's fouled. And he might be shaken up. No, he's okay.
There's been a couple of times where solo balls hit the deck, and I've thought that he's hit his head when he lands. That time right there is scary as well. But I think he may have caught the standard pad behind the basket there with the back of his head, but he's going to be okay.
Yeah, Pieces with the foul. Caravan with the steal. So he's got 4 blocks and a steal in the ball game. So he's up to 11 blocks now. I guess he would be the equivalent to Page blocking shots. You know, you wouldn't expect Alex Caravan to be your team shot block leader like Page was last year for the women, right? Of course, they did have Donovan Clingan last year, so they didn't have to worry about that.
But still, even this year, I mean, I'm expecting Samson Johnson to lead in that category, not Alex Caravan.
Well, Sampson's got to stay on the floor to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Second one by Solo Ball is all net. Boy, he's taking some big strides. 75-43, biggest lead of the game for UConn. 7 minutes to go. Here's Pieces. Off the screen, goes left against Caravan. He puts on the brakes, throws it out to Sunderland. He'll drive on McNeely, left to right. Now goes left, fall away. Tough shot, short, rebounded by Reed. You're right, Ben. That length is just forcing fallaways left and right for the Wildcats. Here is Mahaney. Mahaney left to right to the rim, scoops and scores.
And on the other end, easy layups right there. Defense is so concerned about where Caravan is, where Solo Ball is. A lot of lanes opening up to drive.
Mahaney's got 6. And the UConn lead is 77-43. Ripped off 7 straight points. Here's McComb for 3 from the left, and that's good for UNH. That is just the third 3 of the ball game for the Wildcats. As UConn's chased them off the line. They made 13 last year against UConn in Stores. Here's ball, Mahaney, a 3, straight on, got it. That is straight on from our angle. From the left wing, Mahaney's second 3. He's got 9, trying to join the party. 7 threes for UConn. They're 7 of 23. 80-46. Here's Pieces. Fall away over Caravan is good. Left side of the lane. Pieces with 15, but boy, he's had to work for it. 6 of 16, 1 of 7 from 3. 4 Huskies ready to check in next whistle, including Ahmad Noel. Here is Reed for the Huskies. Hands off to Ball. Solo Ball. Goes left. Gives it left wing to McNeely. He'll drive to the rim. Lays it up no good. Rebound grabbed by O'Neal of UNH to pieces. 5.5 to go. 80-48 the Huskies. 45-24 here in the second half. Here is Anthony McComb. On the left. Goes right to the 10. Lays it high off the window and in. Anthony McComb with 17. He and Pieces are the 2 leading scorers for UNH, 17 and 15 respectively. Woodyard has 9. And then it's a lot of 2s and 1 3. Here's Mahaney, crossover, gets away from Pieces, gives it in the corner for a ball 3. No good right side. Rebound Pieces of UNH. Looks around, brings it into the front court with 4:50 left. Gives to Woodyard down the left side of the lane, and Caravan is going to be called for a foul. And that is going to be foul number 9 on the Huskies. Alex's second as McNeely, Reed, Ball, and Caravan are done for the night. Johnson, Stewart, Ross, and Noel, the freshman from Philadelphia, come in for the Huskies.
I think that's been the biggest thing for UConn the last 3 years. Has been when you go to the subs, you go to the bench, and you're the other team, like, oh, man, finally we get this guy out. And then here comes another monster. Like, it is just a loaded bench. It's really deep with a lot of people that are so confident in their own game that you're really not losing many steps with any combination out here.
Woodyard hits the first of 2. He played 21 minutes last season in Stores. 0 for 3. He had 1 point, 2 rebounds. He and Poser are the only 2 on the roster that played against the Wildcats, or against the Huskies last season in Stores. We mentioned 12 newcomers to this roster for UNH. 80-52 after the free throws. UNH has scored the last 6. Here's Ross for the Huskies. Samson Johnson, perimeter left, gives it to Mahaney. Mahaney down the left side of the lane, gets cut off, bounce pass to Ross. Ross goes left, spins right in the lane, fall away from the foul line, around out. Rebound hits the floor. UNH up with it. That would be Akpomo. Emmanuel Akpomo gives the Pieces to the front court. Huskies lead it by 28. Here's Pieces. Spot up 2 from the right. Banker, too hard. Akpomo rebounds, but Ross takes it away. And gives it to Mahaney with 4 minutes to go. Pieces and Ross get tied up. Ross is free. He'll drive to the rim, scoops and lays it in from the left.
It was like a 4-on-5 situation. UConn with the advantage. His Pieces was on the other side of the court, falling down. And Jaden Ross had a lot of options going to the hoop. He said, why not I just take it?
Huskies about to hit the 50-piece here in the second half. They've got 47 right now. Here's Poser. Starts left, goes right, spins left in the lane against Stewart, tries to go right, then tries to bounce pass it to Akpomo, and he threw it away. And that'll get us to our last break. 82-52, 3:39 left here at the XL Center. Huskies about to go 2-0 on the young season. Back with the final 3:39 in a minute. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown Penderis and Scott.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SiriusXM College Sports Radio, there's complete coverage of every major conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 24.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at PowerStationEvents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians. and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
The UConn Huskies are on the air. You're listening to UConn Men's Basketball, presented by Key Bank. Now back to our broadcast location.
Which is right at midcourt of the XL Center, the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. When we're done, it's the Hard Auto Group postgame show. Highlights, interviews, final stats, scores, all coming your way courtesy of the Hart Auto Group. Shop Hart Auto Group. We treat you like family and only a heartbeat away. HartCars.com. As UConn's about to win their 96th game all-time against the Wildcats. Only Rhode Island has UConn played more. They've played them 145 times. And I saw something online. I'll have to get confirmation of this. It sounds like that UConn and UMass are going to renew the rivalry in hoops starting next year.
Love that. I think that's a great thing.
We'll see if that comes to fruition. Huskies are going to Hawaii, of course, for Thanksgiving. They open with Memphis at the Maui Invitational. Here's Noel. His first touch to Jalen Stewart. Samson Johnson to Noel. Left of the key. Guarded by Sunderland. Alley-oop. Slamson Johnson, but he couldn't control the pass. That was way up.
Top of the backboard for that alley-oop attempt.
Not a good lob there. Sunderland to the front court with 3:10 to go. Here's Akpomo. And a steal by Ross right to Nathan Davis, the second-year head coach of New Hampshire. Came from Bucknell, two-time Patriot League Coach of the Year. Assisted by Tyler Wilson, Louis Guzman, Matt Miller, and Kevin Nichols. Here is Akpomo, right side of the lane against Samson Johnson. Out to Poser. He gets cut off baseline, gives it inside Akpomo. Double team, hooks, misses. And Johnson rebounds. Good D there by Ross. Off to Noel to the front court. Noel wears number 0 for the Huskies. Snaps it off. Open three on the way. It is around out. Following. Rebound. Put back. No. As into the game for UConn is Isaiah Abraham. He wears number 4. Bounce pass down low. Noel to Johnson. Ball knocked out of bounds by Sunderland with 14 to shoot. As Isaiah Abraham, who played 4 minutes on Wednesday in, 6'7" freshman.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what position he kind of fills in and where his role will be on this team. Very, very good high school player.
Where's number 4? Here is Ross, straight on for 3. Got it. That off a Samson Johnson feed, just a catch, turn, and shoot. And that's the Huskies' 8th 3 as Ross hits it. And then we have a foul on the Huskies. As on the reach-in, Noel with the foul. Here comes Yosef Singari into the ball game for the first time. As we await the free throws by Sunderland. So we'll do a second shot. Dan Hurley, Luke Murray giving them lots of attention. First free throw good by Sunderland as he rattles it in. Sunderland, a Utah native, a big Utah Jazz fan, and he loves the TV show Shark Tank. Probably an investor.
I love the show Shark Tank.
My wife used to watch that all the time. You know what I binge watch? Life Below Zero.
Really?
On National Geographic. I love that.
Where are we, Antarctica or Alaska?
Yeah, Alaska. Yeah. I like the guy that has all the dogs. He trains them for the Iditarod.
I cannot see you with a life below zero.
No, I would never do that. Are you kidding? The show would never go for it. Here's Ross. Drives to Abraham. He goes strong left and lays it in. Boy, he elevated.
Yeah, you can see the athleticism with just that layup. He may have been able to slam that.
That was Darnell-esque.
Yeah.
You got up that high when you played, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
1:55 to go. I think we owe you an ID, and we'll do it right now because we have a travel. It's 10:02, so let's tell you who everybody is. 10 seconds for ID. Station ID. This is UConn Sports Network from Learfield. $87.53, 143 to go. Here's Noel on the left. Snaps it on the right. Ross another 3. That's long. Stewart rebounds. Off the backboard. Tries to duck in there. Nope. Gives us Singari. Reverses and scores from the left. First hoop of the season for the Mali sophomore, Yusef Zingari. Here is Middleton with 1:20 to go. 89-53, 54 second half points for the Huskies. Loose ball. Everybody's scrambling for it. Here's a Poser three from the left. That misses. Long rebound, Zingari. And into the front court comes Noel. Boy, they're going to miss. They certainly miss Coach Hurley's son as a driving layup missed by Noel. That's when he knew games were over, when his son was in. Good to see him before the game. And then Noel bangs in a three from the left wing. And I think everybody has scored for the Huskies that's played. Yep, everybody scores. Everybody eats tonight, Ben. 40 seconds to go, 92-53. It's a 12-1 run, 7 straight points for UConn. Here's a fall-away shot by UNH's Khalil Badru. That's no good. And the Huskies pretty much can walk it out. In fact, to the point where Dan Hurley might take a shot clock violation. No, he's going to run some offense. 92-53 the final. Dan says, come on, Jalen, let's run some offense. 20 seconds to go. Ross bobbles it, lost it off his knee and out of bounds. That's probably appropriate. Fans wanted more, but no need to now. 16.5 seconds to go. Huskies only 4 turnovers in the second half. Points off turnovers tonight, 18-10 the Huskies, but rebounds 41-26. 20-4 out Ben in second chance points as a shot missed by Sunderland. Zingari rebounds, and that will do it as UConn will win it 92-53. So they dominate the glass. They do a great job shutting down the three and win it going away.
Great defense in the second half. They really turned it on, especially against the main players. Woodyard felt like they shut them down in the second half. They really forced people to make some difficult shots, whether they're fading their way or they're off their spot. And then that turned into offense. I really think the couple of threes that started second half from Alex Caravan really got things going offensively, and they just rolled from there.
So the Huskies win it rather easily. 17 for Caravan, 14 each for Ross and Ball, 10 and 11 for McNeely, and Reed with 11 and 8. As the Huskies get the dub, and they will have a date on Wednesday with Lemoyne here at the XL Center as we await a post-game interview, potentially. And it is going to be Jaden Ross, who made his debut tonight in a Husky uniform. Let's give you some room here. Let's turn up the mic so everybody can hear you, and you can hear yourself. You hear yourself okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Jaden, I'm Bob. He's Ben. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
So, welcome back to the party. How'd it feel tonight to get back on the floor?
It felt great. It was exciting atmosphere to play in, and, we put in the preparation all week to get to this point. So it felt good. Obviously not satisfied with the win fully, but we'll continue to grow and get better every day. So
one of our favorite plays from you was the reverse layup down on the baseline. Take us through that moment and just what about the finish and why you went the other side.
Just understanding the offense, knowing there was a man cutting through, so there would be no help. They wouldn't be looking for real. So just knowing I would have that option available was obviously good to know in that situation.
This is a New Hampshire team that averages 12.5 threes per game. They made 13 against this team last year. I know it's a completely different roster, but to shut them down, to hold them to three, I would imagine running them off the line was a big key tonight in the defensive game plan.
For sure, yeah. Going through scouting all week, that's all we talked about, knowing they're a great three-point shooting team potentially. And so just running them off the line was something we had in concern all week. So our goal was actually three-point makes the whole game. So to be able to hold to that standard was a great thing for our team going on in the future, playing against better teams.
You guys struggled shooting from the outside in the first half, but then really attacked the basket at the end of the first half and really the whole second half. Was that a concerted effort after missing a lot of threes, or is that just something in your mind frame that you guys have grown up with being basketball players?
Yeah, I think just growing up being a basketball player, you don't see shots going down early. You got to try and find a few easy ones. So getting closer to the hoop, seeing some shots go through the rim, just gaining that confidence throughout the game was a good thing for us.
Jaden, Coach Hurley put you guys through the ringer and practice so many different offensive looks. How complex is it really?
Extremely complex. We talk about it every day. We have one of the best offenses in the country, and that's all credit to the coaches, the coaching staff. So it gives us a lot of options, a lot of offensive advantages, and just being able to know those reads. and practicing those every day helps us a lot every single game. So,
very good. Well, thanks for stopping by. Good job on the win. We'll see you Wednesday.
Sure. Thank you, guys.
All right, Jaden Ross with us as he helps the Huskies win it tonight, 92-53. Even shakes our hand afterwards.
He's a polite young man.
Yes, he
Love
is.
him.
Quality people at the University of Connecticut. Not only good basketball players, good athletes, but good people too. As UConn earns their record to 2-0 with a 92-53 win over New Hampshire. We'll come back. The Hart Auto Group postgame show's coming your way next. From Hartford, this is UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
The Huskies live here. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The final buzzer sounded, and it's time for the Hart Auto Group postgame show. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's game with highlights, check scores from across the country, and visit with UConn players and coaches for postgame analysis. Let's go back to our broadcast location. Here's Bob Joyce.
Boy, it's a good thing I'm quick and nimble because the highlights sheet hit the floor, and I had to dive real quick for it. Bob Joyce back here at the XL Center. 92-53 on this Saturday night as UConn gets their second win of the season, and they beat the Wildcats. They'll get ready for a Wednesday game against Lemoyne. Let's get to the highlights of this one. And it was a good start for New Hampshire. They led 9-4, 3:30 in. Samson Johnson got himself into early foul trouble, but Alex Caravan to the rescue as defense turned to offense with solo ball finishing. Here's pieces for UNH. Works on Caravan. Spots up for three, but Caravan reads it, blocks it, ball the rebound. Solo down the middle, all the way to the bucket. He lays it in for the Rights. That made it 9-8 at the time in favor of New Hampshire. Not exactly shoot-'em-up hoops either. Wildcats are 4 of 14, UConn 4 of 15, and that was the story of the first half. But Terrace Reed Jr., with some good patience in the low post, got the Huskies back within one. Reed with 14 to shoot, finds Caravan between the circles. In for New Hampshire is Antoni Sharuk. Here's 14. Here's Reed, low post. Bobbles, gets it back, muscles his way up and in with the left hand. That made it 11-10. UConn's first lead came on a Caravan 3, and then Alex assisting on the dime of the game to Jaden Ross. McNeely cuts him off. Now he drives inside left, spins right, spins left, puts it up. Short, rebound, tip up, no good. Rebounded by McNeely. Outlet pass into the front court to Caravan. Over here, Ross reverses and in. Dime of the game brought to you by Dime Bank. Community banking lives here, and the Wildcats call for time. 17-13 at that point, 19-14 Huskies at the under 8 timeout. Aiden Mahaney did not score Wednesday and started 0 for 4 tonight, but his 5th shot of the night went in, a 3-ball. Caravan attacks out to ball left corner. Can't shoot it. Gives to Mahaney. Spots up for a triple. And he hits. First field goal for Aiden Mahaney. It's a 3-ball from the right, and it's 23-16 Connecticut. Wildcats within 5 on 3 occasions late first half before the Huskies end the first half on a 6-0 run to go up 11 at the break. Alex Caravan with 4 free throws. Then Liam McNeely's first basket of the night. Mahaney goes off a McNeely screen. On the right, now goes left. A lot of dribbling. Here's McNeely. McNeely drives to the rim. Finger roll rattles in. With 3 on the shot clock, Liam McNeely's first field goal. Biggest lead of the game, 35-24 at the half. We mentioned poor shooting on both sides for the first half. 11 of 30 UConn. New Hampshire 8 of 26. But it was better early second half. In fact, the Huskies made their first 2 shots of the second half. They were both threes from Alex Caravan. Ball top of the key. Goes right. Doesn't use a Caravan screen. Now gives to Reed up top. Reed on the high post. Gives to Alex Caravan for 3. Bullseye.
You can't go under that. You have to go on top of that screen or Alex Caravan's going to make you pay.
That minute 43-30. Hassan Diarra impacted the game in a big spot in the second half. Good D on Sammy Pieces with a block and a steal, and then on the offensive end, taking it right to the basket. Ross on the right to Diarra. Pass off a double screen, hesitates to the rim from the left, lays it up and in. Got the bounce as he got elevated against Middleton. That minute 45-33. A lot of Dan Hurley hype in this game and so far in this preseason for Jaden Ross. An example A of it right here. Here's Diarra up top to McNeely between the circles. Goes left, now spins right. Right-hand dribble, back on the left to Ross. Ross goes baseline on Woodyard to the rim, reverses and scores. Wow. That's a power move there by Jaden Ross. 56-37 at that point, and then Diarra with maybe the best pass of the night. The alley-oop here to Jalen Stewart. Pieces on the left, trying to back his way down now. Works right, goes left. Fall away. Front rim no good, and McNeely grabs his 8th board. Off to Diarra. Hassan to the front court. Alley-oop and a dunk for Jalen Stewart. Huskies led 35-24 at the half, but they explode in the second half. They shoot 64%. They score 57 points, and they end the game with 12 of the last 13 over the last 4 minutes, and they cruise to a 92-53 win. More of the Hard Auto Group postgame show in just a moment. You're listening to UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Banderas, and Scott.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a first alert is everything.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, retirement and investment specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
From the Berkshires to the Long Island Sound, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Kids ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Our Auto Group post-game show continues. Just Roper and I are having just fun here off mic here. As Huskies win at 92-53. Adam will have Dan Hurley hopefully here in a few minutes. Huskies led in scoring once again by Alex Karaman. He had 17 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, 4 more blocks. He's up to 11 through 2 games. The human eraser played 30 minutes. He was 4 of 8, 3 of 6 from 3, and 6 of 7 from the free throw line. 14 each for Solo Ball, who was 5 of 12, 4 of 6 from the line with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. And Jaden Ross, who was 6 of 10, hit a couple of threes and had 1 rebound for the Huskies. 11 points, 8 rebounds for Terrace Reed Jr., 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, had 1 assist and 1 steal, and 10 points, 11 rebounds for Liam McNeely, who scored all 10 of his points in the second half. 5 of 6 from the line. He finished with 11 rebounds as he leads the Huskies in rebounding tonight. 2 for Samson Johnson, just 1 shot but 4 fouls. He did have 3 assists. 9 points for Aiden Mahaney, who had a couple of threes. He had 3 assists. 4 points for Hassan Diarra, but really good in the second half. Made both of his shots. He had 2 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, and a steal. Jalen Stewart with 4, 2 each for Abraham and Singari, and Ahmad Noel hit a 3. One of UConn's 9 threes they hit in the ball game. Meanwhile, for New Hampshire, with 53 points, 17 for Anthony McComb III. He was 5 of 9. Good D on Sammy Pieces. He was 6 of 17, just 1 of 7 from 3, and he had 7 turnovers tonight of the 17 that New Hampshire had. 11 for Trey Woodyard. He was 4 of 8, 3 of 4 from the line. 2 for Saunders, 3 for Okpomo, 2 for Middleton, and 3 for Sunderland, and that's it for UNH. We'll get to the team numbers in just a moment. 92-53, UConn over New Hampshire. This is the Hard Auto Group postgame show as you're listening to UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Banderas, and Scott.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Laz Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Laz Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time, every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Laz Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audiovisual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
Heard from Danbury to Norwich, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when.
Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hard Auto Group postgame show continues. 92-53, Huskies beat New Hampshire. Huskies were 11 of 30 in the first half. They go 21 of 33 in the second half. 64%. They finish at 51% shooting for the game. 32 of 63. 9 of 28 from 3. They made 7 of 15 alone in the second half, and they were 19 of 25 from the free throw line. UNH, 8 of 26 first half, 9 of 22 second half overall. They finished at 35%, 17 of 48, just 3 of 13 from 3, 1 of 9 in the first half, just 2 of 4 in the second half, and they were 16 of 20 from the free throw line. Huskies getting it done on the glass, 42-26, 15-5 on offensive rebounds, and that leads to 22nd chance points for UConn to just 4 for UNH. The Huskies assisting on 20 of 32 field goals, 10 turnovers, 5 steals, 10 blocks, 4 by Karaban, 3 by Johnson. UNH assisting on 8 of 17 field goals, 17 turnovers, 5 steals, and 2 blocks. Points in the paint, 46-22 Huskies, 18-10 UConn off turnovers, 13-5 fast break points, and the bench points, UConn 40 and UNH 5. Biggest lead, 39 for the Huskies. Biggest lead for UNH 5 early. Neither team had a 10-0 run. Huskies had a 7-0 run, and UNH had a 6-0 run, both in the first half. We had 3 ties, 3 lead changes. UConn led for 29-23. UNH led for 8-52. We'll come back with more of the Hard Auto Group postgame show. Paul's back in the studio. He'll do scores when we come back on the UConn Sports Network. The Hard Auto Group postgame show from Learfield. UConn men's basketball presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Heard from Bridgeport to Willimantic. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son Ricky took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Huskies 2-0 to start the season after a 92-53 win over New Hampshire at the XL Center. Paul Roper with you in the Learfield Network studios. The final wrap-up of scores in the Big East and the top 25 will start in the Big East. The rest of these games are final. We'll start in South Orange. That's where Seton Hall hosted Fordham at Walsh Gym. The Pirates had not lost a non-conference game since 1989. They played the Fordham Rams in that one, and the Rams were down by 1 in the final seconds at Walsh Gym against the Pirates this afternoon.
Johnson with 3. Johnson moving left. Coleman on him. Johnson does a running one-hander. It's good at the buzzer, and Fordham wins it. Jackie Johnson III, who was part of the team that Seton Hall beat in the NIT quarterfinals on this floor last year, hits a running one-hander at the buzzer, and Fordham wins the game 57-56.
Gary Cohen on the Pirates Sports Network from Learfield as the Rams pull off the stutter and hand the Pirates a 57-56 loss at the buzzer to drop Seton Hall to 1-1. Elsewhere in the Big East, St. John's routs Quinnipiac 96-73. Georgetown upends Fairfield 69-57, and Providence crushes Stonehill 76-49. Over the top 25 in progress from the Toyota Center in Houston. Fourth-ranked Houston hosted number 11 Auburn. And right now, the Tigers leading in what is expected to be a rock fight. It is 13-12 with 9 minutes left to go until halftime. Got the feeling that the first to 40 might win that game out of Toyota Center. Elsewhere in the top 25, rest of these matchups are final. Number 8 Baylor takes down number 16 Arkansas in Dallas, 72-67. It was 10th-ranked Arizona humiliating Old Dominion 102-44. 12th-ranked Tennessee defeats Louisville 77-55. And number 23 Kentucky takes care of Bucknell by the score of 100-72. Over on the gridiron, UConn looking to clinch a winning season, and we're trailing by the score of 23-10 at UAB with less than 9 minutes to go. And then the offense was able to turn it on and capture a big-time win.
Takes the snap, turns, gives to Edwards. He slides to the left side, and he's free on the left sideline. Cam Edwards inside the 20, and Cam Edwards will score. What a play! What a run by Cam Edwards. Elusive, powerful, and UConn may have put the nail in the coffin with that one.
Mike Crispino on the UConn Sports Network. 3 touchdowns in a 6-minute span, including that 48-yard run by Cam Edwards with a little over 2 minutes to go. And UConn clinches their first winning season in 14 years. Win number 7, a 31-23 decision over the UAB Blazers in Birmingham. Elsewhere in college football in the top 25, a few games that are in progress right now. Number 1, Oregon putting the finishing touches on Maryland. Yes, that is a Big Ten game. And with 1 minute to go, it is 39-18. Ducks over the Terps. 7th-ranked Tennessee, a 33-14 lead over Mississippi State with 5 minutes to play. 10th-ranked Notre Dame routing Florida State 38-3 in South Bend early fourth quarter. Not much of a game in Baton Rouge as Alabama LSU has not been very interesting. The Crimson Tide lead at 28-6 over the Bayou Bengals at the end of the third quarter, and 24th-ranked Missouri up 10-9 on Oklahoma midway through the fourth quarter. Notable results from the top 25: 16th-ranked Ole Miss upsets Georgia 28-10. Georgia Tech upsets number 4 Miami 28-23 in Atlanta, and Indiana 10-0 for the first time in program history. As a matter of fact, their first 10-win season in program history, as they hold off Michigan 20-15 in Bloomington. And on the ice hockey front, the men's ice hockey team suffering a weekend sweep at the hands of Merrimack as the Huskies fall 5-2 earlier today at home. But the men's basketball team is now 2-0 as they defeat New Hampshire by the score of 92-53. And we'll return to the XL Center to wrap it up after this. Again, the final score, the Huskies 92, the Wildcats 53. Presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
whoa, my kid's got a serious backhand,
can lead to an even bigger question like,
tennis campus how much?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you to help you build a savings plan for expenses big and small so your money can make money. Mike, how's that sound?
Sounds like match point.
Sounds like love.
We could serve up tennis puns all day.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
We're back in 60 seconds after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I envisioned a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Paul Roper back in the Learfield Network studios. Hope to hear post-game thoughts from Dan Hurley, Coach Dan Hurley momentarily, as Ben Darnell's back in the locker room getting his post-game thoughts after the Huskies defeat New Hampshire 92-53, improved 2-0 on the season. We'll just let you know a couple Big East championships tomorrow for UConn, as Temple will take on the Huskies in field hockey. That game will be at Providence at 1 o'clock, and the women's soccer team will play Xavier at 11 a.m. tomorrow, the women's soccer team in that Big East championship. And now we'll head it back to the XL Center. Ben Darnell standing by with head coach Dan Hurley.
That was fun, right, Hunter?
Welcome back to UConn men's basketball post-game. Alongside Ben Darnell right here is Coach Dan Hurley. Coach, I thought the second half defense was really great, but I know you have a different standard than I do. How was the game plan on that front, and did it live up to your standards?
I mean, listen, I thought we, for the most part, we tried really hard. We just didn't play well, and you know, we had individual breakdowns and one-on-one situations where, you know, we didn't guard the ball well enough. And then obviously offensively, you know, we didn't make shots, and you know, just it was a considerable distance from the standard.
When Samson Johnson and Terrace Reed are both on the bench with foul trouble, how limiting is that for your offense and defense?
Yeah, I mean, it was surprising, the calls, to be honest with you. You know, and then obviously Sampson, this is an issue that, you know, he's got to stop doing it. He's got to stop mauling people. You're not allowed to maul people, and you know, it's hard to play without a center.
Speak on Jaden Ross's game tonight. He was a plus 25 in the stat sheet. Was it a breakout game? Was this something you were expecting?
Yeah, I mean, I've been pumping him up, and I'm just happy he didn't bury me tonight. Because some of these other guys didn't play as well. But I think you could see, like, his second half. I mean, he had some jitters in the first half, but you saw, like, that's what a UConn wing's supposed to look like.
Coach, great win. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, great.
Oh, yeah, that's what he thinks of game number 2 of the season. We're back with you on Wednesday night, 6:30 here from the XL Center. It'll be UConn and Lemoyne. And on Monday, it is Tuesday, 6 to 7, the UConn men's basketball coaches show Mike Crispino will host. And it'll be Dan Hurley and a player or an assistant right here on the UConn Sports Network. Thanks to Paul Roper back in the studio. I will talk to you tomorrow, 4 o'clock from Gamble for the UConn women and USF. We hope you'll join us. For Ben Darnell and Paul Roper, I'm Bob Joyce. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 4.
You've been listening to UConn Huskies men's basketball on the UConn Sports Network, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott. Today's game has been sponsored by Key Bank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss. Brown, Penderas, and Scott. With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company. Beyond the expected. Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Last Fly Airport Parking. We've got lots to offer. Lippincott Van Lines. The definition of moving excellence. Cloder Farms in Ellington. Best sheds at the best prices. American-made custom furniture. We're worth the ride. Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Make your move. Connect with the top orthopedic specialists at oahct.com. SeatGeek. Whether you're buying or selling basketball tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, so Huskies fans can fan. Trantolo and Trantolo, Connecticut's personal injury law firm. UConn Health, the official healthcare provider of UConn Athletics. Make their doctors your doctors. And by WFSB, trust Connecticut's largest, most experienced team of meteorologists. The First Alert Weather Team, only on Channel 3 Eyewitness News. The proceeding has been a Learfield presentation of the UConn Sports Network.